what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Rundown episode. I think it's 205, 204, I forget, but it's like, I got up early this morning, so I didn't give a fuck to look it up.
Ooh, look at him not giving a fuck.
Yeah. This could be like the worst rundown ever in history, but whatever. Shit happens. So, I'm Owen the Birdman Finch, and I'm here with
Chris.
It's the worst intro ever, but we're keeping it in there. So,
Stupid. The dumb intro.
Yep. Should we just redo this or just fuck it?
Just fuck it.
Yeah. We have loads of topics though to talk to you about today. We're gonna talk about everything that's going. Huh?
It's very rare.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about everything that's going on in NXT. We're gonna talk about some AEW stuff. We're gonna talk about some Impact stuff. We're open book today. That's good. I want to be an open book. I don't want to be closed because then that means no one's interested in me. So,
but it could be closed and people will be interested in you.
If it's fucking closed, it better be closed on somebody's finger. Then that's why it hurts. So,
I mean, you could be that book that's on the bookshelf that people are like, maybe I'm going to read that book one day.
I hope I have an interesting cover, everything. But guess what, though? I have great news for everyone. If you don't want to stick around and talk about some of this stuff, you don't have to. We got chapters now. You can click on that type of stuff, so that way you don't have to deal with our asses.
Yeah.
Like the first Aftershock corner we did was freaking 3 hours. You don't have to sit through the whole 3 hours. Isn't that great? Like,
you have to sit through the first. You know, to watch a second of it.
Yeah.
You can skip to the end and give us the watch time.
Yeah, just don't. I mean, you're not gonna get anything out of it though if you just watch this stuff right now and then the end. You gotta watch at least something when we talk about.
Yeah, if you want to see us cry for 20 minutes, you can watch the end of the Aftershock corner.
Yeah.
You want to see depressed wrestling fans talk about Brody Lee?
Yes.
That's where you could go to.
No, but let's start talking about this stuff. Let's start off with NXT. Pause.
So we're gonna start.
All right, so let's start off with NXT. I think the best way to talk about NXT is just to kind of talk about like the current storylines that have been going on recently. We're not going to talk about like every little thing, but we'll start off from like New Year's Evil and stuff, and kind of work our way I almost said backwards, but forwards.
If we're working our way backwards, that's a no-go.
Yeah.
I don't want to the last 3 months of NXT TV.
Yeah. No, but I know like a lot of people give a lot of crap to NXT now because like they think it's changed now, which is fair, but I still enjoy NXT. I'll admit it's not as enjoyable as it used to be. Maybe because like we have AEW and stuff to compare it to now, but I still think it's like it is different, but I think it's actually not a bad thing because I like that it goes through like these changes. Some of the characters and stuff I am pretty interested in. And I do gotta say, maybe these changes were necessary because they're starting to. I mean, they're still losing to AEW, but they're getting closer to, beating AEW now. Like before, AEW was kicking their ass, so that's that's not as much the case anymore. So
yeah.
So yeah, I do it. So I don't really mind the changes too much. What do you think? Do you think people do you mind the changes to NXT, or do you think do you not like them?
No, it's I don't mind them.
Yeah,
it made it seem from like developmental to like third brand territory. Like
yeah.
It's definitely taken a step up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of like quality and match quality too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't feel like it's a developmental brand where it's homegrown talent.
Yeah.
With zero ring skill.
Yes.
Versus established indie guy who beats them in 15 seconds.
Yes.
This is like you have your top tier feuds now.
Yeah.
Like a lot of indie talent now.
Yeah.
Bringing MSK was or the Rascals was huge for them recently. They're getting a big push to start out.
Absolutely.
They should. One of the best tag teams.
Yeah, let's.
None of the who was not there.
Yeah. let's talk about the main storyline though. What's is going on with the NXT Championship picture. So Finn Balor had a brilliant second match with Kyle O'Reilly. I didn't see the first match yet. I will probably start to try to watch that very soon. I hear it's like a beta of a match.
Amazing.
The second match was pretty damn awesome. You could totally tell that New Year's Evil was competing with New Year's Smash because this match had no commercials or nothing, which I didn't really have an issue with. I like how Finn Balor broke his jaw since Kyle O'Reilly broke their jaw the first time they had a match. And you saw Pete Dunne, Oney Lorcan, and Danny Burch were watching the match because they're heels. And Pete Dunne wanted a shot at the championship. He made his stake claim. I really kind of like how they're going with this feud where Pete Dunne talks about like how every British wrestler tries to has been influenced by Finn Balor in some way, shape, or form. Because you can make the argument that's largely true, but Pete Dunne isn't one of those people. Pete Dunne talks about how he put an entire brand on his back and started from scratch, which is very true. Like Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate were the ones that were the originators of NXT UK. And Pete Dunne's got that off the ground, so I really like that they're talking about that. Pete Dunne 1 week broke his fingers. He broke his arm. I really like how they had Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly formed an alliance for 1 week, and you could tell that they did not like each other, but they were able to use it enough to take out a common enemy. I really like that. And then Pete Dunne broke his fingers, so it led to this match that's coming up at NXT Takeover Vengeance. And obviously we talked about it in the Aftershock Corner, but now with Edge possibly coming into the mix, that kind of makes it more interesting. And I'm looking forward to their match at NXT Takeover Vengeance Day. I think that's probably going to be an awesome match, and really have no complaints about it. What do you think of the feud between Finn Balor and Pete Dunne?
It's awesome. It's Finn Balor's game has been elevated so much since going to NXT.
Yes.
Back to NXT. He's just been terrific. And his feuds have been really good against Kyle O'Reilly and now against Pete Dunne. That match at Takeover Vengeance Day is going to be amazing.
Yes.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's tomorrow, right? Because we're filming this on Saturday.
Yes.
Yay!
Yeah, I really can't wait for that match. Also something else I've been enjoying on NXT is the women's division. Mainly the main title picture. Io Shirai has been feuding with Mercedes Martinez and Toni Storm. Mercedes Martinez just recently made a return to NXT from somewhere.
She was at home. Her son's immunocompromised.
I see.
So she couldn't appear. That's why she was off for so long.
But she put Io Shirai through the table, sort of through the table. She went through the side of the table. And then Toni Storm's been wanting a title match. She's recently turned heel. She doesn't really feel all that different as a heel. As she's just meaner now, I guess. She doesn't really say anything different or do anything different as a heel.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
It's the same.
I do like that they bring up that she's the one that beat Io Shirai in the Mae Young Classic. It's also really weird though because I always forget about it. So when this week when Toni Storm talked about how she was Mae Young Classic winner, she was just saying that to be a bitch, but I actually thought she was being legit. I'm wait, didn't you win the Mae Young Classic this? I thought you won the Mae Young Classic, but she was just saying that to take a dig. But I didn't really feel that way. I thought WWE. I thought WWE got that fact wrong or something like that. But yeah, I do like that they bring that up. I like that Io Shirai even brought up the fact that she was a different person then, which is what I was thinking. I don't really think that's much of a victory because that's not, you didn't face this Io Shirai back then. So at least they brought that up.
It was Io Shirai.
Yeah, I enjoy that feud. I like I would have preferred like a one. I would have preferred like a one-on-one match though instead with like Io Shirai and Mercedes Martinez. I feel like Toni Storm's just kind of like an odd. I get why she's kind of in the match, but I just feel like she doesn't really need to be in the match. I'd rather just have Mercedes Martinez and Io Shirai go at it for the championship.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like Tony's like a sort of like an afterthought in this feud.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would have been better if it was just Mercedes Martinez against Io Shirai or Toni Storm versus Io Shirai. Because they kind of been building up Io against Mercedes instead of Toni Storm, and instead of adding Toni Storm into it.
Yeah.
Where it feels like Toni Storm, the match is still going to be really good.
Absolutely.
It's just that Toni Storm just feels like a throw-in.
Yeah. You don't need. It's not a bad throw-in though. Like there's reason for it to be.
No, it's not. It could be worse.
Yeah.
It could be like Caden Carter.
Yeah.
Or some random nobody.
Yes.
Casey.
Yeah, but I enjoy this feud for the most part. And then also what's been going on in NXT is we've had the two we had the start of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. They're doing two now. They're doing the men's and the women's. Let me just pull it up. Because I forgot to pull it up. I meant to do it when we were talking for like almost an hour, but I got too distracted. So that's what happens when we talk about how crappy the women's division is in AEW. We get distracted and lose focus on what's going on. So let me just pull up the brackets. So yeah, they started the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. I always enjoy the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic because you actually feel like they make stars out of it and stuff like that. So I always enjoy it. I'll start with the men's one first. The teams that were in it were Undisputed Era, represented by Adam Cole and Roderick Strong, which was different because I know we talk about it, they teamed outside of WWE, but in WWE, they weren't really known as the tag team for Undisputed Era. So, so I enjoyed that. Breezango, I was fine with them being in it. Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy... I'll just announce the teams and I'll kind of announce how they got there. Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. I'll talk about them in a second. Arya Daivari and Tony Nese. Kushida and Leon Ruff. The Way, represented by Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory. Everrise. Grizzled Young Veterans. MSK. Jake Atlas and Isaiah Swerve Scott. August Gray, which we'll talk about him, and Kurt Stallion. Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. Lucha House Party, which is Grand Metalik and Lindsay Dorado. That's the team now because Kalisto's on SmackDown. And apparently, for some reason, they can't be hanging out anymore.
They can't. They're at the same building.
Yeah. Imperium, Fabian Eichner, represented by Fabian Eichner, Marcel Bartel. The Bollywood Boys and Legado del Fantasma, represented by Joaquin Ryo and Raul Mendoza. Yeah, we got a lot of interesting things to talk about with this. So, yeah, I like the fact that it was Adam Cole and Roderick Strong this time that represented. Yeah, it was different because Fish was injured, so he couldn't be in the tournament. Then obviously, kayfabe-wise, anyways, Kyle O'Reilly got injured, so they kind of worked out that way, anyways. They actually make a good tag team. You win the chemistry. Yeah, their chemistry is pretty damn good. It was really weird the way the first match went down though, because I didn't necessarily hate it, I guess. But Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch tried to cost them the match against Breezango, and then they didn't. It just didn't work. But I didn't really have a big issue with that because I think Finn Balor came out and even the odds and stuff like that. So I didn't really have any. I wasn't really too mad at it. You can't be too mad at that type of stuff.
If I was just mad at it all the time.
Huh?
What if I was just mad?
Then you're just a anti-WWE fan. You just hate everything and have to. Yeah. I love the way that Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher came together as a tag team, where they fought in the fight pit, which I thought was an awesome fight pit, by the way. I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one, but I like that this one was different because the first one was more of a match with based on submissions. This was just kind of a freaking fight where they beat the shit out of each other.
They fucking destroyed each other.
And I like that the fight pit was like the ring was one place and the fight pit was somewhere else in the building, which was kind of cool. And they brought respect out of them. And originally, I have no clue how to fucking say this guy's name, but Ashanti the Adonis and Desmond Troy was supposed to be in the tournament, but they got taken out by Karrion Kross because Karrion Kross is just mean.
He's a mean boy.
Yeah. You know what's weird though? Like, people have taken worse than what Karrion Kross did to them, and for some reason these guys must be fucking nerds because they couldn't even fucking be.
Oh yeah.
Like freaking people. Karrion Kross is freaking threw a fireball in Keith Lee's face. Was fucking at Takeover 8 days later. These fucking guys couldn't even be bothered to show up to their fucking. You guys are fucking nothing. You're fucking losers.
Fucking nothing, bro.
Fucking Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher fought in a fucking fight pit. Fucking on 205 Live the next, like, few days later. These guys are fucking. I don't even want to talk about him ever again. Adrian the Adonis and whatever your fucking name is, I don't care enough to scroll down. You guys need to fucking up your fucking game or something.
Boy Troy, whatever the fuck his name is, I already forgot it.
Yeah, that's because they're nothing. That's why. They're not worth talking about. No, but I enjoyed the way that Tommaso Ciampa and I like cause it was kind of like they went to war with each other, but like they respected each other. After that, because that's pretty believable if you go to war. With somebody, where they beat the respect out of you. I wonder if Desmond Troy and Adrian the Adonis got respect from Karrion Kross. Probably not, because they're fucking nothing. But
no.
No. You know what?
No.
They're more something than the AEW Women's Division is, though. So.
No, they're not.
Huh?
No, they're not.
They're that bad?
Yeah.
No, but I enjoyed like how they were brought together. I love how they just freaking eviscerated everyone that came in their path. They freaking destroyed Tony Nese and Naoya Devore. I mean, they didn't completely destroy him, but Tony Nese and Naoya Devore weren't really prepared for them to really work together that well as a team, but it ended up being their undoing. I enjoyed the match they had with Undisputed Era's Adam Cole and Roderick Strong. That was awesome. So I enjoyed that.
What if my Undisputed Era?
Huh?
What if it's my Undisputed Era?
What's your Undisputed Era?
Because you said Adam Cole's Undisputed Era, but what if it wasn't?
Well, he is technically the leader of the group, so it is Adam Cole's Undisputed Era. So,
what if it's my Undisputed Era, though, not Adam Cole's?
Well, then I would call it your Undisputed Era.
You better.
You know whose Undisputed Era it isn't? Adrian the Adonis and Desmond Troy. It's not their Undisputed Era. So. It probably would have been if they hadn't gotten taken out by Karrion Kross. So
I'd rather be taken out by Karrion Kross than be called the Shanta the Adonis and Desmond Troy.
No, but what do you think of like how Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher got together? What do you think of that? Do you like that or no?
Yeah. It's a good move.
I think it was a great move. You know, and we never, if Adrian the Adonis and Desmond Troy weren't such fucking losers, they probably never would have gotten together as a tag team, too. That's great.
Because they've probably been teaming up with those two losers.
Yeah. Do you think Naoya Devore and Tony Nese wish it was them that went into the match? Because they probably would have won.
No. They're probably thinking, hey, we can take these guys on.
Yep.
They're a bunch of losers.
And they used the match. They used also this tournament to kind of set up Kushida versus Johnny Gargano, which we'll talk about more later because Kushida like tapped out Johnny Gargano or something to get the match. So I enjoyed that. And then they later on Kushida and Johnny Gargano screwed over. Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory screwed over Kushida and Leon Ruff. I almost said that Johnny Gargano and Kushida screwed over Kushida and Leon Ruff. So I guess Kushida would have turned heel. So
on himself.
Yeah. I enjoyed how it set up that story. I've really enjoyed seeing MSK come into NXT. I think they've been doing really well so far. I mean, obviously, I could say what I want to say about the fact that they changed their names and stuff, but it is what it is at this point. You know, I don't really like the name Nash Carter and Wesley, which is really weird because Wesley technically has Wentz's old name pretty much in Impact, which is just weird. It's just weird.
Yeah.
But I guess that. But I enjoyed the fact that they beat Jake Atlas and Isaiah Swerve Scott because Isaiah Swerve Scott and Jake Atlas weren't able to get along because Isaiah Swerve Scott's a heel now, pretty much. Which we'll talk about that more later. If we,
They should just got along.
Yeah. Well, you know what? They did better in that match than freaking Adrian the Adonis and Desmond Troy did against Karrion Kross, though. So, MSK also beat Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. Because Drake Maverick and Killian Dane beat August Gray, and yeah, how crazy is it that August Gray is in WWE now?
Wild.
Yeah, some people don't know this, but August Gray used to be Anthony Green in other places, and Anthony Green's like from Massachusetts, and he went to Massasoit to our school. I don't think I knew Anthony Green though as much as you did, because I think right when I started Massasoit, I didn't go the same days he did, and I think he was basically done with Massasoit by the time I got there. So how crazy is it kind of for you, because you kind of knew Anthony Green more than I did?
It's pretty wild. I remember he was an extra at the Royal Rumble in 2015.
Yep.
And I didn't know it at the time because I don't think I was talking to him at the time. Oh, I forget how, but like I remember talking to him about it.
Yep.
About him being an extra, and it was fucking cool as hell.
Yeah. I think I did talk to him a little bit about like being a wrestler and stuff. I think I tried to get him to do the show with us, but I think it's a good thing now that he didn't do the show with us, because he probably wouldn't have been signed to WWE, because you know James wouldn't disagree with this, so I can probably say this. I feel like if he had saw someone he was associated with someone that trashes the company, he probably wouldn't. So I think he made a good choice, pretty much not doing the show with us, because he probably wouldn't have gotten signed by WWE.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
I like though. I mean, he doesn't have his name, but I like in a sense he gets to keep his initials and stuff, because I mean August Gray is pretty much the same thing and stuff. You might know this then. Did him and Kurt Stallion like know each other at all? Like, did he ever talk about like that, or is this?
No, I don't think they knew each other then.
Yeah,
but they weren't involved together, so.
Yeah. But it is nuts though to think like that he was like in the.
He was still really young at that point in time.
Yeah.
He was only like, I think he's only a year older than me.
Yeah.
Or he's 2 years older than me.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, but it's
he's a year older than me. He's like a year and a month older than me.
Yeah. So it's crazy to think like he's signed to
7 right now, and I'm 26.
Yeah.
So he's only a year older than me. And
so it's crazy to think that like he's in
So I was like 21 maybe?
Yeah.
Or 22? And he was 23. Yeah, he was 23 and I was 22.
Yeah.
So he was still like relatively like, he had been wrestling for a little while, but he was still like, he hadn't branched out yet.
Yeah.
He was still doing top rope. He hadn't done like CZW yet. He hadn't done Evolve or any of those. He was just doing Massachusetts like independent scenes.
Yeah, obviously.
Chaotic wrestling in Massachusetts and New England Wrestling Alliance, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Like shows like that. But he wasn't doing anything big until after he left Massasoit.
Yeah. Well, so I'm kind of looking forward to see like what he does. Because he hasn't been there that long. I think he got signed in November, right?
Yeah, he hasn't been there that long. He got signed in the fall.
So
he wasn't a part of the MSK. He wasn't a part of the Rascal signing group.
Yeah.
He was a part of the. He was the one before it.
Yeah, because I know WWE bought out Evolve, wasn't he? Kind of like because they signed Leon Ruff and then they signed
August 2nd.
Yeah.
Because
So
they
I think
bought
it's kind
Evolve like right before that, maybe a month before that.
yeah. So I think it's kind. I think that's pretty cool. That like, and I think that like he could do some big things. Like obviously, like he could do some big things in the cruiserweight division. Maybe wrestle for like the North American Championship and stuff. So, so it will be in. He had to be in. I mean, right now he's only really been showing up on 205 Live and stuff. But we'll see what what else he does. So
pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing to see someone that I went to school with and associated with, like
yeah,
in WWE.
yeah.
Like it's like a surreal moment for me because I saw him every day that I was at school.
Yeah.
And he was so cool, and like he's such a good guy.
Yeah.
And it was like it's just surreal to see that. That's like because I haven't met anyone like who went on to like wrestle before. That's like someone I knew.
Yeah.
My first like wrestling friend.
Yeah.
Like I never knew anyone that wrestled before.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like Grand Metalik and Lindsay Dorado, qualified against Imperium. This brought back Alexander Wolf, and now it looks like they're doing things now where it looks like Imperium's fully going to get reunited.
Yeah, Walter, too. They're teasing that Walter's going to come stateside, so...
Yeah, which would be...
Maybe full Imperium. Which would be better. At the same time, like, I'd rather see, like, Walter drop the title and then go stateside permanently.
Yeah.
Because I think he's really done everything he possibly could have done in NXT UK.
Absolutely. And then I really like, how they kind of used that because they were kind of doing a Lucha House Party, Legado del Fantasma feud, and I kind of like that because they both have, like, what they think Lucha Libre wrestling is. Obviously, Legado del Fantasma won, which I didn't really have much of an issue with, so...
Yeah.
And then, they brought us to, like, the semifinals that they had this week, where it was, Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher beat Grizzled... No, they lost to Grizzled Young Veterans, which I didn't see coming. I thought that was a complete surprise. And then they MSK beat Legado del Fantasma. So now we have in the finals, like, two legitimate tag teams, which doesn't happen very often, because typically... It's the thrown together teams that do better in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic.
The makeshift.
Yeah, so I really enjoy that it's going to be two well-established tag teams. And, I like that it's MSK is a new team, but Grizzled Young Veterans were at, believe it or not, a year ago, because it doesn't feel like it, were like in the finals last year, but just failed against a thrown together, like a makeshift team, and Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. So I'm actually I'm looking forward to that match tomorrow night for us since we're recording this then. So I've really enjoyed the tournament. I like that some of it took place on 205 because it made me want to watch 205 live for like a few weeks. So yeah, what do you think of the men? What do you think of the men's tournament? Because I really enjoyed the men's tournament.
It's good. It's been good so far. Like you said, like it's not like the throwing of the tag team that's like in the. I know it's two established tag teams in the final.
Yeah,
it's been a great tournament.
And the winner of that tournament's getting a NXT tag team title match, which I think will be kind of cool.
But they should. I mean, should be given the Dusty Cup, the Dusty Trophy, but at the same time, you should get a tag team title match.
Absolutely. And they had the first ever women's tag team tournament this year. I like that they did one for the women. I wonder if this was kind of a little bit of a shot at AEW, though, because I find it kind of a coincidence that AEW did a women's tournament and did it kind of badly. And now weirdly NXT did a women's tournament and did it really well.
Did it way better.
Yeah. They had, like, people... They didn't do a deadly draw one, but they actually had people who, like, were somewhat legitimate teams and stuff. They had... like Beth Phoenix, they did like a big presentation for it, which AEW didn't do. Like they just kind of threw a tournament together, and like they legit did like a big presentation for it where Beth Phoenix came out, and like presented the trophy and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of cool. The Way, which was represented by Candice LeRae and Indy Hardwell, they faced Cora Jade and Gigi Dolan, who is Priscilla Kelly. And that's significant because that was the first women's match ever on 205 Live. So that's a significant match right there. And then we had the second one. I wish this had been the first match, though, on 205 Live, just because this was a better match. And, you always remember your first. I would have preferred that this was the first one. Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart defeated Marina Shafir and Zoe Stark. No idea if there's any relation to Vicky Stark. Probably not. But I enjoyed that. Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter defeated Mercedes Martinez and Toni Storm because of Io Shirai's interference. But Casey Catanzaro hit like this awesome, like almost like 630 moonsault that looked really cool. So you would definitely know that she's dating or did date Ricochet. And then Alicia and Jessie Cameo lost to Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Poor Robert Stone. He just can't seem to find good clients these days.
Poor Rob.
At least he didn't get run over by a tank, though. That's good.
But you should over by a tank.
Yeah, I thought the first round was pretty damn good, and then I liked the quarterfinal or the semifinals. I enjoyed, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter. I really wanted so bad for Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter to actually go on and get the win here, but it didn't happen. I was kind of sad when it didn't happen, but it wasn't too sad because Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, you can make the argument, are actually a legitimate team. They've been together about a year and stuff, so... and then the Way lost to Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, which actually made quite a bit of sense because since Ember Moon's come to NXT, she's been feuding with Dakota Kai. So now the finals are going to be Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. I'm actually looking forward to that finals. And we found out this week that the winning team's going to get a women's tag team title match in the future. Probably on NXT too, so... it makes me really worse that Charlotte Flair and Asuka had kept the belts because I feel like that would be a better, whoever they face would be a better match than Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler because of Nia Jax.
Yeah. Definitely.
And by the way, all because they had to do that stupid Ric Flair storyline that Charlotte Flair and Asuka couldn't keep the belts. But I like the women's tag team tournament though. I thought it was really good. I mean, you had some thrown together teams. But you could make the argument though, Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart kind of formed as a team. They kind of feel like a tag team when you actually see them on screen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed the women's tag team, Dusty Cup. I like that it wasn't as loaded as the men's one was and stuff, but it's the first one, and they only have a few weeks, I think, to do this, so they wouldn't have been able to fit all the tournament matches if they made it as loaded as the med ones. So
yeah.
There's a rant later I'm gonna make when it comes to the women's tournament that I'm gonna talk about later. That I'm gonna use this to defend it. But yeah, I enjoyed the women's tag team tournament. It was awesome.
It's been good. It's been really good so far.
Yeah. And I think we'll do predictions later. Whatever team wins the tournament, I think this is now the time to have an NXT tag team finally win the women's tag team titles. Because I feel like if you don't, it's gonna make this tournament look kind of bad if that doesn't happen. I think this is the time.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Especially, it depends on who. Like I said, it just makes me wish Charlotte Flair and they could win the belts back. Oh, you know what's gonna happen too? When freaking Naomi and Lana are gonna fucking win the women's tag titles.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's gonna fucking happen. I'll get those ratings up. Freaking Lana and Naomi as tag team champions in NXT.
Oh yeah.
I will bring those ratings up. Yeah. So, but what else has been going on? Yeah, I really enjoyed the North American Championship storyline going on with Kushida and Johnny Gargano. Oh, hold on. I got to plug my laptop in.
Ooh, not good. You got to plug it in.
Talk about the storyline that's been going on with Kushida and Johnny Gargano while I get...
It's been very good so far.
Oh, wait. It's right here. Never mind.
It's been an interesting story.
Yeah.
This week on NXT, probably get to it a little bit more in depth, but Johnny Gargano tried to fake an injury to get out of his championship match. And I thought that was pretty funny. They had the whole, wheelchair and everything, and made him look incapacitated, and Austin Theory carried him into the ring like he was like sickly, and it was so funny, so funny.
I love how they played up to it because the wrestling news reports were like all over that because they canceled the match like right before this episode of NXT, so we thought something went. We didn't know what was going on, so
it was so weird.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's hurt. Like, oh, the match is off. Never mind. Nope. They was to sell a storyline.
Yeah.
All the rest of the news sites fucking bought it.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I really loved it too because, like, Kushida's had his number week after week, like, he wanted to get out of facing Kushida, which makes sense because he's had his number every week. And they had a reason to do that injury storyline because if you watch the backstage segment, he stomps on his arm, so that's why we thought he was probably hurt. Like maybe Kushida went too far, and we were like he accidentally legit injured him.
Yeah.
But I love how they played it up. I really love the back and forth banter that he had with Johnny Gargano and Regal, where like Regal was basically like. He knew this was BS. He even tried to Johnny Gargano even tried to show a freaking X-Away, and it wasn't even like his X-Away. It was awesome because it was like it wasn't the right hand. The other all that stood for right hand. It was awesome.
It was great.
I even love too like where Regal gave him like two options. He could either have Austin Theory defend the belt for him because he was facing Kushida later on in the night, or he could just forfeit the belt to Kushida, but he didn't want to do any of that. He said, just give me a few months, I'll be back. And I even loved how Regal's like, let's ask Kushida about it. Kushida was like standing right behind them. And like, they kept talking about stuff. Like, Kushida's not even here. And then Austin Theory like legit like tapped him on the shoulder, not realize it was him. Like, right? It was awesome. Like,
its whole storyline's great.
And then, Kushida looked so good in that match against Austin Theory. Like that was awesome. I like how they involved Dexter Lumis in the storyline where he's just obsessed with Austin Theory now. Like he scalped his head like a week ago, and now he's freaking. He pulled him under the ring, and when Johnny Gargano tried to pull out Austin Theory, it ended up being Dexter Lumis.
That was funny. That was so good. That was so good. That was so good.
Yeah, I actually kind of feel bad for Austin Theory in a way because he's been in fucking 3 factions in the span of a year. He was in the whole faction with Zelina Vega, Angel Garza, and Andrade Cien Almas. I know that's not his name anymore, but
no, I can't say that.
Yep, he was in that faction. Then he was in Seth Rollins' Monday Night Messiah faction, but then. Either the speaking out movement happened or he was taking personal time. We don't really know which one. And then but if it's the speaking out movement, don't ask Triple H about it. He'll just dismiss it and say, "Oh, we looked into it. We didn't find anything." So don't ask Triple H about it. I know you don't listen to like the media calls or anything, but like the same guy when the Velveteen Dream thing when he was brought back, that when the same guy asked him about it, Triple H was like, "Oh, we looked into it. We didn't find anything. Stop at." He basically like he got pissed the second time. Because he got asked about it once, because he does a media call before the Takeover shows, and then afterwards he got asked about it on the one before, and then the same guy asked him about it again on the postcards. And he basically just went, like, I told you, we looked into it, and we didn't find anything. I get, like, he shouldn't dismiss the question, but why would the same guy ask the question if he knows he's not going to get an answer?
And if you're not going to get the answer that you desire, don't ask.
Yeah, he asked it twice. I'm not saying Triple H is right in that case either. Like, he shouldn't just dismiss the question and stuff. But the guy shouldn't have asked the question the second time too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't ask the second time. You already know what the answer is going to be.
Yeah, not saying I'm excusing the situation at all. I'm just saying just saying don't ask the question again. But no. Austin, and then he was in the way. Like, Austin Theory's been in 3 factions in, a span of a year. I guess he can't make it on his own steam. So, Hey, he's doing better than Adrian the Adonis and Desmond Troy though. Like he was at least able to. The freaking guy had his arm destroyed and was freaking able to wrestle. Like, what are these guys doing? Like,
what are they doing?
Get destroyed by Karrion Kross apparently. No, but I enjoy the Kushida Austin Theory storyline. Well, really enjoying that. Any other like storylines you got to break down? Yeah, I guess that's it for the NXT. There's other storylines I want.
Too many.
There's other storylines I want to talk about before we actually give predictions and stuff. A storyline I don't really hate, but I just think it's kind of weird and oddly timed is the whole storyline that's going on with Karrion Kross and Santos Escobar. Because Karrion Kross came back and basically destroyed Damian Priest and basically like banished him from NXT, I guess, because apparently he doesn't want to go back. I guess I can't blame him, though, Damian Priest, because he's got his Bad Bunny on the main roster now. And I guess he's too scared to go back to NXT because he doesn't want to get destroyed by Karrion Kross again. So, it's just really weird. Like, he basically, like, I guess Damian Priest has done everything in NXT, but I just kind of feel like his call-up pretty much was just kind of, I don't know, he didn't really feel like he just basically lost a match and just didn't go back to NXT. Like
fuck it.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, I'm out of here, done, see ya. And they've been doing cryptic things with Scarlett where they tease like he's targeted somebody, and we found out that it was Santos Escobar. It's just kind of weird because they're both really dominant right now, and they both really can't take a loss because Karrion Kross just came back and he's wicked dominant, and then Santos Escobar has been like a dominant champion. It's also weird because it's not for the belt, and it can't be for the belt because Karrion Kross doesn't fit the weight limit. Obviously.
He should fit the weight limit. It's weight discrimination.
Yeah. I just don't really. I don't hate. I think they'll have a killer of a match, and I don't hate like the storyline. I guess it just feels like that they shouldn't be put together because they both can't afford a loss, and it's just weird. They're both heels too. Like they're not really. Like, Karrion Kross clearly still a heel because because he took out Damian Priest and he was being mean to Edge last week. What do you like?
How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
I think the thing is they don't want to put him in the title picture right now because they have other stuff going on with Finn Balor. But also Santos Escobar just can't take the loss because he's been a dominant champion. And that you could say like carrying like Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza could like interfere, but I feel like they've eliminated that option now because he beat the shit out of him this week. So this is just a weird like I feel like this feud's just weirdly timed. I feel like and it just feels like that these characters really shouldn't be going after each other because they're both heel. I don't know how well the match will work too because I guess Santos Escobar will be the face. But his style is a heel style. Like it doesn't like if he was the a heel Del Fantasma, I guess it would work. But he's not that gimmick right now. So what do you think of this? What do you think of this feud though? Maybe I'm just being petty.
I mean I haven't seen much of it, so I don't know.
Yeah,
it's one of the things I haven't seen. It just seems like it's a thrown together match.
Yeah,
just to give Kross something to do.
Yeah, I don't think they want to have. They don't want to have him go for the belt right now. I think they want to save that for like a big takeover. So we'll see. Yeah. Also what's really weird, like really really weird, is the stuff going on with Xia Li and Boa, with like this mystery woman. I think they said her name last week where they gave like a backstory to her where she was like meant to take the throne but then got knocked off. It's like it's this weird like Chinese. I don't really hate
Tian Shi.
Yeah, I don't really hate the feud. I just do question because it's very stereotypical. Like it's the stereotypical like Chinese gimmick where like they're like very like because they're Chinese they have to do these type of storylines and stuff. Like, it's not, so maybe that's why it's not really connected with me as much. Like I guess it gives Xia Li something to do. maybe because like I get the Dungeon of Doom vibe with the way she sits out on that throne, so it kind of makes me think of that. So like, come on, that's very Dungeon of Doom, the way she sits on that throne. That reminds me a lot of that. I don't want to be reminded of that. There's a reason. I know like that was beating WWE and the ratings, but WWE wasn't all that good in '95 either. So I could say one thing that's good about it. It's stands out from both the things on the Wednesday night shows.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So I could say that, but I don't know. The Nightmare Collective also the Nightmare Collective also stood out too. I'm just saying. What do you think of that though? Because I didn't really see it too, like, you know, when it actually started. Because so what do you've seen it since the beginning? So what do you think of the whole stuff going on with Xia Li and Boa?
It's interesting. I kind of like it.
Yeah,
I like what they're doing with it. It's just interesting. It's interesting, but not like I don't know. I don't know how far they can go with it though.
Yeah.
I don't know what the end game is for Xia Li.
Because I don't think she's going for the belt.
Yeah, so it's kind of like it's like a mid-card women's feud.
Yeah. It's really weird too because she's feuding with Caden Carter now and Casey Catanzaro. She like kicked the crap out of him this week. So I'm guessing maybe they're gonna have a tag match where it's her and that mystery person, and we'll find out like who the mystery person is.
Yeah.
Because apparently Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter don't know who it is. They're like, who are you? And Xia Li like laid him out. So I like that now they made her like indestructible though. She can't like feel pain, which is cool. Which is like something they're trying to do with Alexa Bliss sometimes, which kind of doesn't work because like Alexa Bliss is kind of like fragile a little bit. If like they try to have Alexa Bliss no sell on Asuka's offense, which just isn't believable because you can tell like that shit legit hurts when Asuka freaking gives you a knee. Like you can't really just pretend to no sell that. So, but I guess
but if she's under a spell, like if she's under the Fiend's spell, she's like Fiend-like. She's impervious to pain. Like it makes sense why she would no sell it.
Can you imagine she's under that gimmick though, and like she got like legit injured? Then that's all over.
Yeah, could happen.
Yep, all over. And then what else? I think that's everything. Pretty much on NXT. There's been some things going on 205 Live, like Tony Nese and Alia Daivari are trying to take out like the new recruits in the cruiserweight division, like August Gray. I guess they want him going back to top rope, but I guess that's what they want. But I feel like August Gray's too good for that now. They want to take out like Kurt Stallion. They want to take out the new people. It is what it is at this point. I don't really hate that storyline, but it's just basically they've done that storyline now for so long in the division, and I feel like at this point they're starting to run out of stuff for Tony Nese and Alia Daivari because they've been in the cruiserweight division for so long. But they have to. But that's kind of their ceiling right now because I don't really want them going to the main roster because they wouldn't have anything for them on the main roster. So they'd be like Drew Gulak. They'd probably be going for the 24/7 championship, and they're too good for that. Maybe not Alia Daivari, but Tony Nese. Whoever would have thought I would have said that like almost 5 years ago. Tony Nese is too good for 205. For
Tony Boy Nese.
Yep. And then Everrise and like the Bollywood Boys are like a faction now, which I think is kind of weird but kind of cool. They're like I guess they were like feuding and they patched things up. They have like a written agreement, like truce. So good for them.
Good for them.
Yeah. They're gonna be making a lot of like Bollywood videos and get together and stuff. So if that's what they want to do, then they can do that. So.
Anything's possible.
Yeah. So I thought NXT was I think NXT is pretty damn great. And 205. So I like it. It's good. Wow, what do you think of NXT right now?
It's good. It's going good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Nothing
There's
wrong with
nothing
it.
really to complain about.
Yeah,
Everything's going good.
Not one thing. So let's do predictions now for NXT Takeover Vengeance.
Yeah.
Pause. All right, now let's do predictions for NXT Takeover Vengeance Day, which is tomorrow for us, but maybe you won't see this till Sunday, so it will be tonight. We have the NXT North American Championship match. We have Johnny Gargano defending against Kushida. I think this is going to be a hell of a match. Oh, I also have one minor complaint. I didn't really like how they did like the face-off this week, where they had like each guy come out and do like a face-off. They should have been a Polo Pop Brawl somewhere, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I think there's going to be an awesome match between Johnny Gargano and Kushida. This is going to be...
fantastic.
Huh?
Fantastic.
Yep. I think Johnny Gargano's, though, retaining the North American Championship. I don't really see a reason for him to lose the championship.
I don't either. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if Kushida won, though, because he could just have awesome matches with the championship. So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So no complaints.
No complaints.
I
think Gargano's going to win.
Yeah. We have the Women's Dusty Cup. I think, which is Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. I think Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart are going to win. Because I think it's the first, women's tag team cup. The first Dusty tag team classic. And I think they would want to have, like, a face team win. Because usually when there's, like, a first time ever of something, they have, like, the baby faces win. So they can do, like, a big celebration with, like, legends and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think, if Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax are going to be the champs, they're kind of heels. So they would probably have them face them, because that would actually work better to have a heel Baszler and Jax face Ember Moon. And I don't know if I would do that match though, because I'm not saying have Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart win, but I would say didn't Nia Jax injure Ember Moon before? I mean, she's injured everyone, but didn't she especially injure Ember Moon before? I'm pretty sure she's injured.
I think she has. I'm pretty sure she has.
I don't know if I want to put Nia Jax in the win with an NXT talent, because then you could lose, you're a big draw for NXT. So.
Sure.
But yeah, who do you think? Do you think Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart are winning? Do you think Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez are winning?
I think it might be Ember and Shotzi.
Okay.
I think it might be. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Then we have MSK versus Grizzled Young Veterans in the men's one. This match could really go either way, because Grizzled Young Veterans got this close last year, and it would be a good story if they actually came back and won in the finals. However, I actually think MSK is going to win.
I do too. Yeah, that's my pick too.
Because they're the newer team, and I actually, if Lorcan and Birch were baby faces, Grizzled Young Veterans would win, but they're heels. But I think this would put over MSK as a huge tag team if they won.
Definitely for sure. MSK, I think MSK is gonna win.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have the triple threat for the women's championship. It's Io Shirai defending against Toni Storm and Mercedes Martinez. I think this is an easy victory for Io Shirai. I don't see her losing the title in a triple threat match. I actually think she's going to lose the title one-on-one. I think Toni Storm's going to take the fall and going to set up a future match between her and Mercedes Martinez. So,
I agree with that.
You could set up two matches.
Yeah. I think it's going to be one-on-one. It really is. I mean, if they're going to do it that way, then Mercedes Martinez pins Toni Storm, or Toni Storm pins Mercedes Martinez, and Io doesn't eat the pin, and she has the rightful claim she wasn't pin to lose the championship. But I don't see that happening.
I think she's held the belt for so long at this point. She has to lose it one-on-one.
It's going to be one-on-one. I think Io's going to win too also.
Yeah. I actually think you're gonna get a Toni Storm match like on NXT, and then at Takeover, like a future Takeover, you're gonna get Mercedes Martinez versus Io Shirai. Mercedes Martinez could win the championship. So
yeah, I agree with that.
Then we have Finn Balor versus Pete. This match is significant because Edge hasn't made his decision on who's gonna face at WrestleMania. So whoever wins this match could be facing Edge for the NXT championship if he chooses that championship.
Exactly, yeah.
Because I think it's more likely he'll go for the Universal Championship because of the whole Roman Reigns storyline. But I actually think there's actually a good chance Edge will go for the NXT title.
There's a good chance. Yeah, I can see that being an opportunity for him. It's different pushing for it behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think it's really tough though because of the Edge factor. Because Edge will be the de facto babyface. So do you want to give it to Pete Dunne? But I also don't think they've done enough really with Pete Dunne in the build of this match to put the title on him. And like if I know Finn's been the champ for a while, but wasn't he hurt for like 3 months of his title reign? So he really hasn't been like on TV really doing much with the championship. Didn't he just come back recently?
He came back like a week or two ago.
So I think they need to keep the title on Finn Balor. I think there's a bigger match. They could do the Edge match, but there's also a bigger match at play with Karrion Kross versus Finn Balor. Where because they both have legitimate gripes because they both had to give up a title due to the same injury, and Finn Balor won the title in Karrion Kross's absence. So I think there's a better storyline going on with either with Edge versus Finn Balor, or if they don't want to do that, if Edge doesn't go for that match, you could do the Karrion Kross match. So who do you think's winning this match?
It's tough. It's a toss-up.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Finn Balor. I just don't think it's like he hasn't had the title. He's had the title for a while, but he hasn't really defended it either.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Finn Balor. That's a safe choice.
Yep. And that's our predictions for NXT Takeover Vengeance Day. I think there's a missed opportunity that they should have used the same Valentine's Day Massacre name, but they didn't do it, so whatever. It is what it is at this point. If they didn't want to do it, they didn't want to do it. I'm not gonna get not gonna get too mad at it because we're gonna get a banner of a show. Hey, wrestling pay-per-view names, they can be bad, but that doesn't mean the show would be bad. Great Balls of Fire was a great show. So, huh?
Good ball.
Yep. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the NXT Takeover. Hasn't been a bad one yet, so this will continue that trend. So yeah, that's our NXT Takeover predictions. Pause.
Yeah, I remember it.
We're keeping that in because I pressed play right when you said yeah. Let's talk about Impact now from this week. I don't even know the date. Let me look at my calendar. It was from
the 9th, February 9th.
Yeah, the 9th, February 9th. This is probably the worst Impact I've seen in a while.
Seen some pretty bad ones.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
I guess we'll just start off by talking about the bad first, I guess. There isn't a lot of good, but obviously everything with Johnny Swinner just needs to stop. Where they're doing a poker segment where Fallah Bahh didn't have any money to bid, and he tried to take out a loan, but Johnny Swinner wasn't having that. He tried to bet a half-eaten cookie, and Johnny Bravo just stole his cookie, which isn't nice. And then they have Alicia Edwards in there, and Johnny Swinner tried to hit on her, but he acted like he didn't know her name, and then she said, he asked if she was married. He says, "I'm Alicia Edwards," and then he said, "And I'm Terry Taylor," and then there was a Red Rooster reference, but I feel like she said she definitely didn't say the Red Rooster. She said something else. So it's just really weird. It's just not good. Like, can we get rid of Yeah. Can we just get rid of Johnny Swinner at this point? Like, his segment's not good. And then the gimmick's not good. So, what do you think of this segment?
Horrific.
Yeah.
Couldn't get any worse.
And then we had another bad thing on this show was the ODB's return was fucking bad. Believe it or not. The match she had was fine with Kimberly and stuff, but they did it bad because all right, so the thing that was bad about it was Kimberly comes out ringside with Deonna Purrazzo and Susie. And they interfere, which obviously was going to happen, which leads to Jazz and Jordan Grace coming out. But why wouldn't they have been out there in a corner from the beginning? Because they had to know that was going to happen. Like, that was just not...
I guess they're stupid.
Yeah. And then it leads to Kimberly getting the win, which I thought was a mistake because it was ODB's big return. Like, again, you want to put over Kimberly, but it's like they're not... You got to put over yourself first before you put over... It's like the Chris Jericho effect in WWE. When he would come back to WWE, he would lose so often that, like, when he put guys over, it didn't really matter as much anymore. So, I mean, he put over Fandango at WrestleMania one year. So,
even though you didn't want to.
Huh?
Even though he didn't want to.
Yeah, so I thought it was kind of the same case here. And then, I think it got worse because the heels are all happy about this because, like, everything's going according to plan. And Susie's all upset because, like, the baby faces keep interfering. So she wants a 6-woman tag team match for No Surrender. This was just all bad because they set up the 6-woman tag team match bad because literally the heels had the advantage. And, like, there's really no reason to do the 6-woman tag team match since the heels are already winning. Like, literally, the way you do a 6-woman tag is you have the baby faces win the match, and then they say... like, literally, the baby faces should have been, or they could have lost, and then the baby faces should have been like, we want a 6-woman tag team match where the odds are even. Like, literally, they had the heels be the ones that challenged them to a 6-woman. I get because Susie went into business for herself, but it just didn't make any sense at all. Like,
she's so unbelievable to go into business for herself.
Yeah. They're gonna probably spin this by saying, like, Susie's just doing this to fuck over, like, Deonna Purrazzo, like, playing mind games and stuff, but they're not really hinting at that, like they did with I'm sorry, Susan, not Susie. Susie's something else. Like, Susie, like, you believe Susie, like, because they did more touches to believe that Susie was doing that, but you don't really get the vibe that that's what's going on here with the Susan gimmick.
No, not one bit.
Yeah, so that was not good. What else wasn't good on this show? Weirdly enough, the thing that disappointed me in this show was everything they did with the tag division this week. I didn't mind the promo that the Good Brothers had backstage where they talked about how they were going to beat up James Storm and Chris Sabin. That was whatever. The match itself was, like, going along fine, and then they ended up off a stupid disqualification where they had a Private Party run in so that way they could face the Good Brothers. Because they thought it was, like, I don't know, an easier... They didn't want Storm and Sabin in the match because they thought, like, the Good Brothers would be easier, but... Wouldn't Storm and Sabin be easier because they're not really, like, a legitimate team? You want them to win because you just beat them. But then backstage, you know, Howdy Party's all happy about it. Scott D'Amore comes up and says, oh, we got to do something about this. We got to make sure that Storm and Sabin don't interfere in this match. And they're like, okay, so let's just ban them from inside. Like, Hardy was, like, all into it. And then, it's like, no, why don't we just put him in the match? That way they can't... like, how did Matt Hardy, who's been a tag team veteran, he's been a veteran in the business, not see this coming? Like,
I know, I did not see it coming.
It's the predictable... Yeah. It's the predictable thing that they do all the time, where they have the heels interfere so they can have the, you know, the team they don't want to win out of the match, and they just put them in. It's like, oh, you screwed them over. We're gonna like how that's literally the same thing they do all the time. Like, I think clearly what's going on here is clearly don't want the Private Party or Gallows and Anderson taking a loss. So they're going to put Storm and Gunner in there to do so. But I feel like we could have gotten Storm and Gunner in the match a better way. Like, they should have done like a one-on-one match with like Carl Anderson or Luke Gallows facing one of Storm and Saban's team. And if they win, they're in. That's all they needed. Like, they literally went about it in a convoluted way. So that wasn't good. And again, it's like they have AEW show up. At least they were actually like in the arena this time. But it's like they have AEW show up, and they literally don't really do much on the show. Like,
they don't exactly.
I get you want to do a slow burn storyline, but like, what? They haven't done anything significant with it in, I think, since the first time Private Party showed up and when Tony Khan was there. So,
No, I thought that this is the week paid ever. I think this is the weakest paid advertisement yet.
Oh my god, it was so bad this week. Yeah.
It wasn't funny. It was just like,
yeah.
You could tell they were getting tired of it.
Yeah.
They just kind of like phoned this one in.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of trying to build up like they showed like no enthusiasm whatsoever.
Yeah.
But the week before they were like all over the place showing like enthusiasm. And then this one they were like, yeah, well, Dynamite's tomorrow night, so watch it.
I think this time what happened is because they filmed it was also filmed in the football stadium, so I'm wondering if they filmed this one with the beach break one at the same time. So they just kind of phoned this one in.
It's really bad.
Yeah. So I mean I think that and it was also really weird because they didn't really advertise like anything Impact wise. All they really said this time was like that Impact opened the door. And it was basically history that like wasn't true. Like I get like he's trying to be like he tried to say like he was the invisible door that kept New Japan and AEW from working together when that wasn't the case at all. So
no, it's literally the other way around.
Yeah,
it was New Japan wanted nothing to do with AEW.
Yeah. And then I did like though that he did say he will be back at Impact at some point. Like in the paid ad. So that is something to look for. Like, is he gonna show up is Tony Khan gonna show up at No Surrender tonight? But probably not. We'll see what happens with that though. And then yeah, what else was I guess that was the only I can't really think of like there's anything else bad on Impact, like maybe like the Brian Myers, like I know you love some Brian Myers.
Yeah, he's the best thing ever.
You want him we did find out that he paid off Hernandez to like take out Eddie Edwards, but I guess because they're having a tag match, things didn't really go to plan. So he gets like the first half of the money up front. But if they handle the job with Matt Cardona and Eddie Edwards, then
talk about the fucking lamest like. That's so lame.
Yeah.
Like so lame. Here's your money. I'm just gonna give it to you anyways, even though you didn't do the job right.
Yep.
That's like. If someone went to go kill someone, like a hitman, like you hire a hitman, and they go to kill someone, and they like cut off their hand.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, like, here's your money. Here you go. You did the job. Like, no, the point of a hitman is to hire him to kill him. It's not meant to dismember them.
And then Fallah Bahh walked up and was interested in the money so he could play more poker. So, I guess we're getting more Fallah Bahh, Alicia Edwards.
Yay! More Fallah Bahh. That's what I need.
I like Fallah Bahh, though. Like, I
tuned in Impact the other week and I go, man, I need to see more Fallah Bahh and Brian Myers.
Yep.
And if I don't, I'm going to riot.
Especially Brian Myers, right?
Oh, yeah. Who could... I can't go out a day without thinking about Brian Myers. Like, I like right now I'm thinking like what's Brian Myers gonna do tonight, or what's Brian Myers gonna do Tuesday?
Yo,
Like what's the professional wrestler gonna do? Is he okay?
yeah.
Like
You ever worry about him?
I wonder what his preparation is for the match.
No.
Like
he was so
professional. Recuperate.
Yeah.
What's his? Does he use chirotherapy? Does he like what does he do?
Yeah.
Like what was he gonna do on Tuesday if they were to lose? Is he gonna throw a party? Like what's he gonna do?
That's not professional, man. You can't throw parties.
It could be professional. I mean, if you're the most professional wrestler,
You gotta have professional parties though.
It's gotta be professional because he's the most professional wrestler.
Yes.
Double professional.
And then another bad thing I just remembered was everything they did with the Knockouts tag division. They had Nevaeh face Kara Hogan.
Could have cared less.
Huh?
Couldn't have cared less.
Yeah. So then they had to get disqualified because Tasha Steelz hit a lawn blower on Nevaeh, and then like the ref threw the match out. So they went and complained about it to Scott D'Amore and basically said they didn't really want that because that referee, I guess, is the same referee they've been like fucking over, I guess, like in the party and stuff. So they think he's fucking them over. I don't know.
That whole thing with like how they complained was just stupid.
Yeah.
Because Tasha Steelz interfered in the match and she hit Nevaeh. Therefore, it's a disqualification. You can't say that didn't happen because it did. If you're not in the match legally and you go into the ring and beat the shit out of someone and the referee catches you, that is a disqualification.
Yes.
You can't just say, "Oh, I'm not. It's not a law. It's legal. I can just go to the ring whenever I want and beat the shit out of my tag team partner's opponent. It's perfectly legal." I was like, that whole thing made no sense. It's like, what is your argument?
Yeah.
You're the one that cost your tag partner the match.
Yep.
You physically beat up Nevaeh, and the referee caught you. So therefore, it's a disqualification.
Yes.
It's
so he set up a Texas Tornado no DQ match at No Surrender.
I like when they were like yelling at Scott D'Amore and Scott D'Amore just slammed the door in their face.
Yeah, that was awesome. Scott D'Amore's a fucking bullshit starter, man. I love him. Like, I love how he always has the headset on too. Like when he does these
always got always have that headset on.
Like, is he doing a podcast? Is he calling spot? Is he being an agent calling spots to the comment? Is he talking? Is he the voice behind the commentators here? Like, is he is he on the phone? Is he on the phone with somebody? We don't know who he's talking to. Or what he's talking about.
Yeah. He could just be whispering sweet nothings into their ear.
Yes. And then I also really didn't like how they went about the whole violent by design, like Jake's choice about joining the group. So I didn't hate the fact that he didn't join the group because I figured that was going to happen anyways. The way they went about it, though, like, he was like, he wasn't sure about it, and he said you have to fight for something. So it like seemed like he was gonna join the group, and like he was gonna like tease like he's joining, like raise the hand and all that type of stuff. And then he just attacked them, and then just got laid out anyways. And then Joe Dorn was gonna stop his throat while he was connected to a chair or whatever. And then Dina's like, nah, I want to be the one to do it. So Eric Young makes the match for No Surrender. It's gonna be Jake something. What a great fucking wrestling name that is. The best that's better than T-Bar. Actually, it is better than T-Bar. It's better than Cesaro. Yeah. At least when WWE that's just a terrible wrestling name. Like they could have. Jake something. Fantastic.
Something or other.
He's just something. And then, yeah, I just really didn't like the way it went about this because it's rinse and repeat what they do with Violent by Design, where they come out, beat somebody up, especially Jake something now. It seems like he gets laid out every week. And it doesn't validate his reason for not joining the group. And he also didn't really seem like he had a game. Like, it was basically everything they were trying to make when they were going to do John Moxley joining the Inner Circle. But that segment was fantastic because Moxley teased like he was going to join the group. And he actually waited till, like if you remember, because technically Joe Doran's in the Hager role, the heavy muscle. He waited till the muscle was out of the ring and hit Jericho really quickly and then left before the muscle got back. What he did here was he had the whole group in the ring and was at a disadvantage. Like, he didn't have a plan, but afterwards. Like, he should have... He made it look really stupid. He went, nah, I'm not joining. Gotta attack them. Got laid out.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't like that at all. What'd you think of that? Did you like that?
Yeah.
You like that? It's not a no. It's not a yes.
It's not good either.
Yeah. I want to talk about the stuff I loved on the show, though, because I think that's all the things I hated. Talk about the things I loved. I loved that opening freaking X Division match with that 8-man with Trey Miguel, Willie Mack, Suicide, and somebody else. What's his name? Josh Alexander versus Daivari, Blake Christian, Chris Bay, and some other heel. Forget. Ace Austin. I love that match. That was an awesome freaking 8-man tag. I thought everybody shined in that match. Trey Miguel looked awesome. He was hitting like freaking moves in like 6 seconds. It was a tremendous match. I love I love that Trey Miguel got the win. I'm actually interested in this triple revolver match. It sounds like it's basically a gauntlet triple threat style. And if you get eliminated, you're out and somebody new comes in. I think that's actually pretty damn cool. Something unique.
Yes.
And then I like afterwards how Sami Callihan showed up and basically said, that he questioned whether or not Trey Miguel really cared about being at Impact since he left Impact high and dry. So, all of this gets it gets 2 thumbs up. The match and the promo by Sami Callihan, that gets 2 thumbs up. What do you think of this?
It was a good match. I liked it a lot. It was really good.
Yes.
It builds up the match for sure.
And then I even loved how Sami Callihan talked about when things gets too hard for Trey Miguel, he leaves, because that's basically what he did. When he left Impact, and he's basically saying it's just a matter of time before you leave. Do you think Adrian the Adonis and Desmond Troy are gonna leave NXT since things are too hard for them?
Yeah.
I don't think that's too. I feel like they'll leave in NXT soon after that Karrion Kross match. So,
yeah.
And then they did several birthday shout outs to Tommy Dreamer with actually no, before that I like the promo that Rohit Raju cut backstage on TJP. So it hyped up their match and stuff. So I thought that was good too. There's nothing really more to say about it. It was just a good promo.
It's good.
And then I liked the hype up. They did a bunch of birthday shout outs. And now we can say it. Chris Jericho has worked at every major wrestling company. He has appeared in every major wrestling company in the freaking world. He's been in ECW, WWE, WCW, New Japan, and now Impact. That's fucking crazy.
It's wild.
I think he's the only one to do that. I legit can't think of anybody else and also I forgot AEW too. He's been in AEW because he's there now. But Chris Jericho has been in every company, every major wrestling company, ever. It's just insane. So I did mark out. Say it again.
Wild.
Yeah. So I absolutely love that. I like the contract signing they did with Tommy Dreamer and Rich Swann. I didn't really like how edited it was. Like, for example, like when Dreamer like grabbed the contract to sign it, they did like a jump cut and like you could just tell something was edited out of it, or like Rich Swann would go to say something and then like it would cut to something like you could just totally tell how edited that was.
All over the place.
Yeah, but I really like I like the content that was in it where Rich Swann talked about how he wanted to face the best and he wants to face Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer talked about how he never gave his answer about wanting to wrestle for the world championship because he thought other people deserved it. And it led to Moose coming out. And Moose is upset because Rich Swann promised him a world title shot. And he said it doesn't matter anyway, since I have the real world title, and that's the TNA world title. And Swann says that's the title thing in the past. This is the future right here.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
And then Tommy Dreamer cuts this great promo talking about like how he's gonna prove to Moose and Rich Swann. I even loved how he ripped Moose a new asshole by talking about like how Moose was gonna get fired until he told him to change shit up. Yeah, he signed the contract, and I'm actually looking forward to this match at No Surrender. I think it's gonna be a killer of a match.
Yeah. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be very interesting to see how the 50-year-old Tommy Dreamer works with Rich Swann.
Yep. I also like how they put like because everyone probably thought Moose was gonna like interfere and cause a DQ, but I like now that they took that option away because now Scott D'Amore said that if he interferes, he said suspend him forever. Isn't that fired? Like isn't that pretty much being fired because you can't show up to work ever again? Huh?
Forever suspended.
Why aren't you fired? Because you basically can't. Like that shouldn't be a thing. Like
well, indefinitely.
He definitely said forever.
Well, it's kind of like indefinitely.
Yeah, but that's not what he said though. He said suspended forever, which is legit me. Like you're pretty much. I mean, like you're pretty much working with you because he's probably not getting paid, so you're pretty much fired at that point.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty much.
So I don't know why he didn't just say you're fired. That would have just made it. So
or he could have just said that they was suspended indefinitely.
Yeah. I feel like it should have been like suspended forever. That like is confusing. I'm
gonna suspend you forever.
And you don't have that power. No, but yeah, this Impact was pretty bad though. Other than those other than like those 3 segments, and one of the segments was like wicked short. I'm gonna give this Impact like a D, like a. I'm thinking D-, but the main event segment in that first match was so great. It's a D. It's probably like a 65 out of 100. Like,
I'm giving it a big fat 69.
Why are you rating it higher than me though? What did you like better about it than I did?
The fact that it's a 69.
Okay. But then we're not teachers, because then
on the show. That's why. Because Brian Myers.
Oh, okay.
King of professional wrestling was on the show.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, that's our review of Impact Wrestling. Pause.
A good show for last.
All right, so let's talk about Impact No Surrender predictions. Oh, we forgot one thing that happened on Impact actually that I liked. So maybe it's still a 65, but I still like this. So, one of the matches on the show is a 6-person tag team match. It's Decay versus Tenille Dashwood and Triple XL. They brought back Taurus to face what's his name? Caleb with a K. He fucking jobbed him out. I love Taurus now. He jobbed that guy. I think Caleb with a K is dead now. I think he's dead.
He's fat aside.
Yeah. So that's probably why they wanted to take him out then. So they had a reason for him not to be ringside, I guess.
To lose weight.
Yeah. But I enjoyed. I think this would be a pretty damn good 6-person tag team match.
Decay's gonna win.
Yeah, obviously. I don't think
it's pretty easy.
Yeah, Decay's winning.
I mean, they just added Tarus, so I mean, they're not gonna like.
Yes.
They're not gonna have him like come back to Impact and lose.
Yeah. Sorry, not just Tahus, Black Tahus. So make sure we get that right.
It's the same person.
Yeah, but still, he's
Tarus, he's Black Tarus. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same human being.
I was gonna say something, but then I was gonna say he's a different color now, but that probably wasn't good for me to say. Good, moving on. We have a 6 knockout tag team title, not tag team title, but just a 6 knockout tag team match.
They have the 6 women knockouts tag team championship now.
Yep. It's Jordan Grace, Jazz, and ODB versus Deonna Purrazzo, Kimberly, and Susan. I fucking hate the pair up of Deonna Purrazzo, Kimberly, and Susan, so I'm picking Jordan Grace, Jazz, and ODB to win. I fucking want them to win, and I will not accept anything else.
If they don't win, it's dumb because it makes Jordan Grace look like a fucking incapable challenger.
Yes.
So that I think they have to win at that point.
Yeah.
At that point, like, so let's say Deonna Purrazzo wins against her again. What's the point of Jordan Grace being in the in title contention?
Yeah.
What is the point? Because she's gonna fucking lose every time. It's like Carmella. They keep giving Carmella chance at the chance, and she keeps losing every single fucking time. So in storyline reasons, there's no reason for her to be able to challenge the championship anymore because she's not credible.
Yep.
So she has to win.
Yeah. I think ODB's getting the next shot at the title though. So
really all of them, like they've really built them all up somewhat too. Like Jazz has been built up pretty good.
Yeah. And it's not like Deonna Purrazzo has to take the pin too. It's Susan can take the pin, Kimberly can take the pin. Probably Susan to take the pin because that gimmick sucks. So
maybe all of them at the same time, stacked on top of
then we have a singles match that shouldn't be a singles match. It should be like an ODQ match, but they're stupid in making it a singles match. We have Jake Something versus Dina. Jake Something probably needs to win this match, but they're gonna be fucking dumb and put Dino over because he's fucking in the group now, and they really need to establish that. But it's either way, this is stupid because they've made Jake Something look really bad, but they've also have no choice but to put Dino over because it doesn't validate his reasoning for joining the group. So they either way now, since they've done so poorly building up Jake Something as a credible babyface, they've made it no matter what happens, it's dumb whoever wins.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So I think Cody Deaner is gonna win.
Yeah, but no matter what, it's dumb now.
Yeah. He's gonna win. There's no.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
We have a Texas Tornado no disqualification match for the Knockouts Tag Team titles. Fire and Flavor, not Flavor and Flavor. Versus Havoc and Nevaeh. Fire and Flavor are probably retaining the championships because it's no DQ and they can use weapons, so it actually benefits them more than you would think. So that's it. Nothing else to say.
Yeah.
I don't know who they face now because I think these are the only 2 tag teams in Impact. I guess they could.
Yeah, I honestly don't even know which way. I think Kira Hogan and Tasha Steele is going to win.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
I just don't think that Havoc and Nevaeh are going to win. I just don't see them as tag champs.
I don't want them as tag champs either. So.
We have the lose anyway.
We have the triple threat revolver match where the winner becomes the #1 contender for the X Division Championship. It's Ace Austin versus Blake Christian versus Chris Bay versus Daivari versus Josh Alexander versus Suicide versus Trey McGill versus Willie Mack. This could go a lot of different ways. They could have Trey McGill win because he just came back. They could have Willie Mack win to get him back in the mix. They could have Ace Austin win. It's really weird. I would think Ace Austin's kind of next in line anyway since he won the Super X Cup, but I guess not. They could have Chris Bay win, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see Daivari or Josh Alexander winning.
I literally see 0% chance that Daivari wins.
Yeah.
But now me saying that, they heard me say that.
Yeah.
In the orifices of this world, my voice is out there now, and they heard me, and they're gonna put the title on Daivari now.
I don't think Suicide's winning either, because he might commit suicide.
Definitely not. Faticide, definitely not him.
Blake Christian's probably not winning either.
Yeah.
I'm picking. I think there's two options. I'm gonna pick the X Division title match first because that will kind of affect this pick. Actually, I think TJP is retaining the X Division championship against Rohit Raju.
Yeah. I mean, if they're gonna go that way, then Chris Bay, because it makes sense because that feud that they had.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because I think
I'm torn between Trey Miguel and Chris Bay.
Yeah. Well, I think so TJP's retaining. You could say like it kind of buries the whole thing with like him putting in Mahalabali Shira, but I actually think there's a way out of it. Like they could just eject Mahalabali Shira and then he loses, so it doesn't really hurt that too much. Like they could have him get ejected.
Yeah.
And then
or they could have it end in like a no contest or something and still make Rohit Raju look strong.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really don't think Rohit could really afford like a straight up singles loss.
Yeah.
That's going to be a disqualification, maybe by Shira or something.
And maybe they'll do like a ladder match on Impact or something, and then
do like a stipulation match. Yeah. Still protect Rohit because at the end of the day, he's in that mix too, also for the X Division Championship.
Yeah.
You don't want to like have him go from like facing TJP for the title to have him like last in line behind fucking Daivari.
Yeah. I think that you got to pick somebody though, so I'm picking TJP. You can't just not pick anybody.
I'm picking TJP.
And I think Chris Bay makes sense. So because I think I'm
gonna go Trey Miguel.
What's going to eliminate Trey McGill is I think since it's no disqualification, since it's technically since it's a triple threat match, I think Sami Callihan's going to cost Trey McGill the match.
Or Trey Miguel wins, faces TJP and wins, and then it's Trey Miguel versus Sami Callihan for the X Division Championship.
That is true. But I think they're going to go the other way. I think Chris Bay's winning.
I'm going to go Trey Miguel.
They have to change Chris Bay's theme song now because his theme song, all they really need is one shot. But he had a shot against Rich Swann and lost, so you got to change your theme song now.
They wanted 2 shots.
That's all they need, just 2 shots. Unless he's talking about alcohol, then that's a completely different story. Then we have a tag team match on the show. It's Eddie Edwards and Matt Cardona versus Brian Myers and Hernandez. This is really a tough one to pick because they both need the win. I think I picking Eddie Edwards and Matt Cardona because I want.
Yeah, because it's his debut.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But they could have Hernandez and Brian Myers win. But I'm picking Eddie Edwards and Matt Cardona.
Uneasy alliance. Yeah. But I think that Brian Myers and Matt Cardona are going to wind up tag teaming again because I think it's going to...
Yeah.
Maybe it's by disqualification, maybe it's by whatever, but like, yeah, I think that they're going to end up teaming up again.
Somehow, some way, yeah. Someone has to turn. Somebody's got to turn. Then, I don't really want to see Matt Cardona as a heel. So I'm thinking Brian Myers is going probably is going to go babyface at some point. Then,
yeah. Maybe Hernandez and
maybe Hernandez like threatens to beat the shit out of Brian Myers, and it leads to Matt Cardona saving him. If you remember, Hernandez threatened to knife freaking not Kara Hogan and Tasha Steele, so that guy's a fucking maniac.
Psychopath.
Huh?
The psycho.
Yeah. How is he not suspended then? He freaking threatened to knife Fire and Flavor, but freaking all
forever.
Yeah. Then we have the 3-way match for the Impact World Tag Team Championships. It's the Good Brothers versus Chris Sabin and James. I almost said Josh Storm, but it's James Storm. Versus Private Party.
His alter sober ego, Josh Storm.
Yeah, yep.
The straight edge Josh Storm.
Yes. It's really a tough one to pick because I out of the Good Brothers and Private Party. I'm still pretty interested in this match, but I'm not as interested now that Sabin and Storm are in the match. Was kind of looking forward to seeing the Good Brothers versus Private Party.
Singles match, not a fucking not a three-way match.
Yeah, I understand it though, because Private Party just turned heel, so they probably can't take a loss, but neither then can the Good Brothers, I guess. I'm gonna pick the Good Brothers to retain the championships, I guess. By pin and Storm and Sabin.
I'm torn between this because I think eventually there's gonna be a title change. I just don't think it's gonna be that no surrender.
Yeah.
I think when it's just a 2-on-2 match, not a triple threat tag.
Yes.
That there'll be a title change. But I'd be surprised if there was.
Yeah.
And I would be surprised, but I wouldn't be at the same time. But I'm gonna go Good Brothers too. Also,
I actually think they could do something to on Dynamite where they defend the Impact Tag titles, and they could have the Young Bucks accidentally cost, which we'll find out maybe isn't an accident, cost the Good Brothers the Impact Tag Team Championships.
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yep. Really weird, by the way. The Young Bucks were on Impact this week, but they weren't Generation Me. That's weird. A Generation Me dead. A Generation Me dead now. Like are they not alive anymore?
There should have been Generation Me.
Yep. Then we have the Impact World Championship match. Rich Swann defending against Tommy Dreamer. This is, I think, a very easy title defense for Rich Swann. They could have Tommy Dreamer win as like a feel-good moment, but I don't really see the point in him that because he'd probably just drop it really quickly. Like I think Rich Swann's gonna get put over huge by Dreamer.
Yep, I agree with that too. Does it make sense to do the feel-good story? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did it.
Yeah.
But it just really wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Rich Swann.
No one's mad, by the way, that Dreamer's getting a world title shot. He basically got handed a world title shot, but everyone's so mad that Edge is fucking lasted a whole Rumble match, and mad he's winning.
Edge had to go for into a 2 to win.
I thought it was 1.
1, whatever the fuck he was. 1 or 2, it doesn't matter. It's the same fucking thing. They're in the ring for the same amount of time.
Yeah. So that's our predictions for Impact No Surrender. I tell you to leave your predictions, but don't even fucking bother. I don't want to see those predictions. Our predictions are the only one that fucking matters. If I see any predictions, I'm
post them.
Huh?
If these people want to post predictions, We might not read them.
Yeah, but I ain't fucking reading that. I'm not wasting my time with that. So, if you're posting predictions, it better be like just one sentence. I don't want to see a whole paragraph of stuff. I want one fucking sentence.
I want fucking paragraphs. I'm gonna say, Owen, read this, or I'm gonna fire you.
I can't get fired. I won the channel.
Yes. And he says yes. Yes, Chris, I will.
All right, let's move on now. Pause. All right, now on to AEW stuff.
You're reading every single one of those predictions.
I'm not reading every one of those predictions. Let's talk about AEW now. Let's start with Dark. I did watch like an hour of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched enough of it, so we'll cover it. Natural Nightmares and Nick Comoroto defeated Very Morales and Jersey Muscle Society. Was
super short.
Yeah. I like the team up of Nick Comoroto and the Natural Nightmares. So I enjoy that.
What is the comically large now Nightmare family? The CW Cody World Order.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. SCU defeated Lee Johnson and Aaron Solo in a good match. Lee Johnson and Aaron Solo are also in the Nightmare family too, so that's good.
I forgot about that. Aaron Solo's in it too. Bailey's fiance.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. Aaron Solo.
SCU, this is actually a pretty darn good tag team match. It was very predictable that SCU were going to win because it would have made the match on Dynamite with Lee Johnson very pointless. So it was very... And also because they have the whole thing now with SCU. If they lose another tag match, they're not going to be a team anymore.
So is it across Dark and Dynamite then?
Huh?
Is the storyline across both of them?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So they're not losing on
Dark when no one watched it.
Yeah.
No one would have seen it. So
can you imagine though, like they like get knocked out and like, you know, don't kick out, or they forget to kick out and they're not supposed to lose. They fucking lose by accident. Like,
what if they get counted out by accident?
Oh, that'd be great. They would have to run with that.
They thought like the match on Raw with when Shayna Baszler got accidentally counted out.
Yep. Oh wait, was that this week?
It was like a couple weeks ago. They had like that 6-woman tag or whatever.
Yep.
And Shayna was supposed to get in, but she got in like a half a second too late. So they counted her up, but then they restarted the match.
I don't think I watched that because I think I just watched clips that week, and I had no interest in. Because I think I was interested in seeing Shayna Baszler versus Charlotte, but when I saw it just got turned into a 6-woman tag match, I think there was a fuck finish in there. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not watching that.
It was stupid.
What else was on? I didn't watch Nyla Rose versus Miranda Alize, but I think you can guess what happened there. So,
squash.
Yeah. Pac defeated VSK. I enjoy that because I enjoy Pac kicking the shit out of people up until Dynamite the next day, which we'll talk about. I didn't enjoy Pac kicking the shit out of that guy. The Concrete Rose Sunny Kiss defeated Casey Navarro. This was not a believable squash because Casey Navarro has been on Impact having competitive matches, so that was not a believable squash to me at all. Isn't that great? AEW does the squash match when there was no need, when it wasn't believable. Isn't that great?
Yeah, it's believable. Not really.
Tag Conti squash Alexa Gracia. I didn't really care about that at all. I don't even know why I watched that. The Hollywood Hunk Ryan Nemeth defeated Marco Stunt. They gave an explanation of why Marco Stunt was just there, even though he was kidnapped by FTR. They just said they let him go, so that was dumb. Yeah, they just let him go.
Let him go. No explanation needed, really.
I don't know if you heard, but the Hollywood Hunk Ryan Nemeth cut like a really bad promo on Dark like that week. So
yeah,
that happened.
I know it was pretty horrific.
He won with a neckbreaker on Marco Stunt. Because FTR's music played and he got scared. So
you got horrified.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't really care about Ryan Nemeth.
I'm scared now. I'm scared.
Yep. Pretty Peter Avalon and Cesar Bononi faced Sean Dean and Charlie Bravo. I think they won, but Peter Avalon and Cesar Bononi. But I didn't watch that because I had no fucking interest. Dark Order's 10 defeated Baron Black, I think, but I didn't watch that either. But it sounds like Dark Order's 10 won. I probably should have watched that, but I didn't really feel like watching another squash match.
Can't blame you.
Red Velvet defeated Diamante in a good match, but I didn't really care about it because the AEW doesn't care about the women's division, and they didn't bother.
So why could you?
Yeah. This was actually a barn burner of a match. Joey Janela defeated Jack Evans. That was a fucking awesome match. That was awesome.
How many barns were burned?
Probably just the one because... Actually, probably several because people were probably losing their fucking minds having to watch this many squash matches. So, that's AEW Dark. I'm not going to grade the show because I only watch what I cared about. That's normally a good way to grade a show. So that's AEW Dark.
I want fucking grade for it right now.
We'll go C+. That's
what I want to see. I want to see you. I want to watch every match and grade every match from now on.
Actually, no. I'm gonna give it a C. Just no, a C minus. I'll give it a C minus, a 70 out of 100. I'll be fair. C minus.
That seems fair.
What did you want? An A+?
Yes.
And then maybe when they stop doing several squash matches, they'll get an A+.
I want an A+, 100%. I want you to love every match.
Nah. All right, that's AEW Dark. What do you want to... I mean, I know you didn't see it, but what would you grade this show just by hearing about it?
A D.
Okay. All right, let's talk...
You know what?
Why?
Too many squash matches. So I don't watch Dark. It's too boring.
Yep.
Even if I want to watch like a match specifically, I'm not gonna sit through it. I'm not gonna pick go through and watch random matches on a 2-hour 12-match card.
Yes.
When I can just watch AEW and see it come across the bottom line.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So Lee Johnson lost again for the 400th time in a row. Nice.
Yep.
Like, oh, great. You know, they don't really care about That's they don't care much about Dark because they just spoil the results anyway the next day, even if you didn't watch it.
Yes.
Like, what's the point? You don't see like on fucking on Raw, you don't, or at SmackDown, you don't see them spoiling the putting main event results up.
What would you do if they did that? Would you click away? Like
I literally never. I would click away every time. I don't want to see results. I don't want to see spoilers. I don't want to see anything because I'm never gonna watch it.
Yeah, but that was AEW Dark. That was AEW Dark, though. That was AEW Dark. All right, let's talk about Dynamite for this week. I don't know what the date for Dynamite was. So if Impact was the 9th and Dark was the 9th, this was the 10th.
The 10th of Rooney.
Love this show. Absolutely awesome. There's some issues with it. We'll talk about the issues first. I mean, obviously the biggest issue, surprise, surprise, is with Cody Rhodes. Surprise, surprise. Actually, shocker. Yeah, it is. I mean, the tournaments are probably the bigger issue, but I feel like Cody Rhodes is actually the bigger issue because. But we'll talk about the tournament later. I feel like Cody Rhodes is the bigger issue here because he teamed up with Lee Johnson to face Peter Avalon and Cesar Bononi. Well, I mean, we've talked about this, I think, last week, and we talked about it a couple weeks ago. I think me and James did. They really have nothing going on with Cody right now. It's so bad. It's getting ridiculous. He's still coming out to that crappy Snoop Dogg theme because they have that stupid Big Show on. Because he's on it. Like, I was fine with him having it 1 week because Snoop Dogg was actually, like, there. But now it's, like, overstayed its welcome.
It's just really bad.
Like, he should have had... Like, I didn't like the song anyways, but I'm like, okay, I can put up with it for a week. But now it seems like I have to deal with it every week. It would be like... Because John Moxley's going to be on Misery Index. It would be like if he had, like, a crappy theme song there, and he came out with that... I shouldn't say that, because that might happen, actually. Like, it'd be like, I don't know, like... I don't think he will, because it doesn't seem like... So, by the way, if Impractical Jokers, by the way, show up on Dynamite, are they banned from WWE shows?
Probably.
Anyhow, though, yeah, but the Cody Rhodes thing is really bad. Like, he took the heat in the match, which is a problem because he's the bigger star than Lee Johnson. I get the story was about Lee Johnson, but he's the bigger star. Like, that's not typically how this works. Usually, the no-name talent gets the heat, and the big star gets the hot tag. The match went into picture-in-picture. And
no one cares about it.
Yeah, I'm not saying like the match itself but like which means the match was gonna be longer than expected. And then I don't know, like I don't want to say I'm happy he got hurt, but it kind of serves him right because it teaches Cody a lesson to not give these no names as much offense because it got him injured. So, and then yeah, Lee Johnson got his first win, which I actually like that part of the story, but it's like, it just shows Cody's got nothing going on. He's got nothing.
Exactly.
He's doing nothing. He legit wasn't even, he was like the least important guy in the match, and he's the bigger star.
Then all four of them combined.
Yeah, and now the Shaq match isn't probably happening because he's hurt, but they didn't talk about the Shaq match once on this show. Like, is it off?
It's like a few weeks away now.
Yeah.
When they announced it, it was like 2 months away. Now it's like less than a month away.
Yeah, I think it's off. Honestly, like it doesn't seem like it's happening because they didn't talk about it, and now he's injured. So,
March 3rd. So it's 1, 2, 3 weeks away.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, the Shaq match sucks because it shows Cody has nothing. I mean, he has nothing going on. Legit nothing. I think it's what's worse about it is like he's gonna have a kid soon. He's gonna be off a month. Don't you want to get the most out of him now when while you have him? Like
exactly.
I think
it's like. He's so fucking lost.
Yeah.
Like he's doing these. He's trying to be like the uber baby face, and it's rubbing me the wrong way. Like I liked Cody before. I liked him a lot.
Yeah.
You know, when he was just being himself, and he was in the feud with MJF, and he was in the like in the feud with Chris Jericho. Like I liked him then. I liked him a lot.
And then I'd even say
Darby too.
And then Brody Lee.
Brody Lee, like his character work and his in-ring work was really shining. And then it just like the past after the feud with Darby Allin.
Yeah.
He got taken out of the Team Taz feud, and they got a 62-year-old Sting in there instead. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand why they didn't just do a 6-man. Have Cody, Darby, and Sting versus, well, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, and Brian Cage. Or Hook.
Exactly.
Because he legit was in that feud.
It just made no fucking sense. Like, now they're going to have a street fight with 61-year-old Sting and Darby Allin.
Yep.
Against Cage, Hobbs, and Starks, it seems like.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just Cage and but you know Hobbs is gonna interfere countless times and stuff though. So why not Cody? If you're gonna have the street fight, I get that. Why not just add Cody to it? Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, Cody's direction's just it's so bad. Like he's
just so directionless.
Yeah, he's shoved down our throats, but he has no direction.
It's like, oh, here's Cody. Here's Cody.
It's worse than
Cody gonna do. Here's Cody.
It's worse than it's worse when Cena was shoved down our throats. Because at least when Cena was shoved down our throat, he had something going on. Like Cody's got nothing.
There was a direction. He had feuds. This? No. This is just AEW saying, he's the owner of the company. Here he is. Here's Cody.
Yep.
Here's Cody to announce something. Here's Cody to do this. Yep. Here's Cody. Cody's got a big announcement. Cody.
Oh, it's so bad.
Here's his Nightmare family at ringside. 50,000 of them.
Yep.
The entire, it's like, here's Brock Anderson now, too. Also, Arn Anderson's son.
Yep.
Here he is.
He's in the Nightmare
family. It's becoming, and I said it before, and I'll say it again. It's becoming the new world order, except for it's the CWO. It's the Cody world order.
Yeah.
Everything's Cody.
Other things that went down, we'll talk about the match itself because that's a different story. This women's tournament is so bad now. They really ruined it in a week. So on the YouTube channel, they posted they were doing the tournament. They announced the brackets, and right fucking there, they ruined it because they announced that some of the matches are taking place on Mondays. It's the women's tag tournament all over again, pretty much. At least this time, they're putting some of the matches on Dynamite. That's at least better, but this is just
the majority should be on Dynamite.
Huh?
The majority of them should be on Dynamite.
Yeah, but this is
a YouTube channel that no one's gonna watch.
This is so bad because this is where I'll use NXT as an example. So, because everyone will probably throw that at me. Well, they didn't put the whole women's Dusty tag on NXT. NXT has an excuse because they're building up more storylines with the women on NXT that they legit can't fit all the matches on NXT.
All the women's matches of significance, the women's championship, the women's Dusty Classic,
Xia Li,
and Xia Li. There's 3 feuds there.
Yeah.
Not all of them can be focused on at once.
Yeah.
They're trying their absolute best, whereas AEW's not.
Yeah.
AEW does not have a strong women's division, so that's why they had to go outside the company to go grab more Joshi wrestlers. Like, that's going to help.
Yeah. I think the worst thing about it, too, is, like,
and the only one I knew of that bunch, besides the obviously known ones to begin with, like Aja Kong and whatnot, but, like, Maki Ito is the only one that I know. They did a very bad job of, like, explaining who these people were.
Yeah. The worst part about it...
Watch the bracketology thing on their YouTube channel?
Yep.
Did they explain who these people were?
Yeah, they did a good job of they explained like that they were champions in other places and stuff and how they debuted.
At least some like they have somewhat of a thing, because I'm gonna have to watch that because I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know who anyone besides Ito. That's the only person who I know.
Yeah, but also like the thing is too, like NXT didn't go NXT, like 205 Live is also like a premiere show for NXT. It's where they put the cruiserweight division. NXT didn't go, oh, we don't have time for this. Like, why can't they put these tournament, if they're not going to put them, if they can't fit them all on Dynamite, why can't they put some of them on Dark? It would get people a chance to at least watch AEW Dark.
I know you said like you're picking you could put 2 or 3 tournament matches from the Japanese side on Dark.
Yeah.
Like, it's because the American side is probably going to be all on Dynamite.
Yeah. And I think it's even worse because I actually agree with James on this one. They missed a huge opportunity because they have a partnership with NWA, they have a partnership with Impact. They legit missed a chance to like put some of the Impact knockouts on there. And this would actually help them out because they could put one of the matches like on Impact. Like literally, they have another platform now to put these tournament matches.
Could have had like Ashley Vox or like if you wanted to do like kind of like old school like or NWA style, you could have put like Tasha Steelz and Ashley Vox back together again.
Yeah.
Done that tag team again like they were in NWA when they were teaming up with Allison Kay.
Yes. Yeah, this is just the layout of this is just because the fact that they're not putting all the matches on Dynamite is going to make the fan. I mean, it just shows they don't care about the. Because I also said this, they did a men's tournament back last November, the one that Kenny Omega won. Every match was on Dynamite. Every match on the men was on Dynamite.
Every single was on Dynamite and was on pay-per-view.
Yeah,
I think. Or no, they were all on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Why can't these?
Yeah.
Why can't you showcase your women?
Yeah.
Why is this such a fucking like not a priority?
It's really weird too, because like AEW's been really good about. AEW's been really good about listening to when it comes to like getting rid of things. Like everyone got mad at the Nightmare Collective. They got rid of it. Everyone was kind of. I wasn't really as mad about it, but people were getting mad that the Elite weren't winning that much. They fixed that. It's like everything they listen to, except when it comes to the women's division.
Yeah, it's like whenever put more women on Dynamite. Like what? Not put women on Dynamite? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Like I want to like showcase your women's division. It's like I fucking say this every single time we review Dynamite. Where is the fucking women's division?
Yeah.
Where is it? It's invisible. I don't know what they're doing with Shida, but Shida just went back to Japan. Maybe she's doing a promo over there, or she's setting up a feud with one of the Japanese talents, maybe Riho or Maka Ito or Aja Kong, and bringing them to the United States with her. Like I don't know what they're doing.
See,
all I know is Shida posted that she went back home on Instagram to Japan. That's all she posted.
Shida's been the champion for like months and is basically not existent.
Yeah, it's like Riho territory.
Io Shirai has been the NXT champion, probably literally a few weeks longer than I forget her name, Shida. That just shows you, by the way, that just proves my point. Has been the champ longer than Shida and is more significant. Because even when she can't be on, they do promos with Io, cool promos too. Like fucking cool promos with her underwater.
Yeah, like she's let's see, where is it? But it's crazy.
Yeah, it's
like
bad.
It's awful.
I will
for 250 plus days, and she's on every week.
Yeah, and if she isn't, if she isn't on, that's okay because they have other women that. They don't need to have Io Shirai on every week. They do other things with the woman. So
yeah,
but Io Shirai doesn't go like 2 months without being on TV.
266 plus days. She's the longest reigning champion in AEW history. When the fuck does she ever defend that belt?
Yeah, I think
Io's defending it all the time.
Io Shirai, like, I mean, even if she doesn't defend I don't think she's defending the belt for a while, but she doesn't
She's
go
on television though.
Yeah,
that's visible on TV.
And if she's not on TV, she's doing promos. And if the longest I think she'll be not on. I'm trying to think. The longest she's not on TV for, I think is like at least 3 weeks. But guess what? Even when they do promos with her when she can't be on TV.
Oh yeah. Whereas like they're like, oh, there's Sheeta in the crowd.
Yep.
There's your women's champion right there, and then they get the camera off her. It's like why?
And then I did think Thunder Rosa and Layla Hirsch had a killer of a match. I won't take that away from them.
But again, what side of the tournament is it? The United States side.
Yep.
So like, they're gonna showcase the United States side more than the Japanese side, apparently.
Yeah. So Thunder Rosa won. I didn't really have much of an issue with that. But yeah, they've soured the tournament now because they can't seem to find the time to fit it on Dynamite now. So
they can't seem to fit their women's division on the show. Period.
No.
Now they're gonna do probably rapid fire like up there's the women's tournament that you wanted.
Yep.
Isn't it kind of funny how they had to come up with a tournament to determine a number one contender for the women's championship instead of building up a competitor to face?
Oh, absolutely.
Hikaru Shida? Like, I just don't get it. Like, you have a vast number of women on your roster. You literally have Serena Deeb and Layla Hirsch and all these women on your roster who can compete against Sheeta, Britt Baker, and so on and so forth.
I mean, honestly, Britt Baker's probably the real number one contender, probably.
And you needed to come up with a fucking tournament, a convoluted tournament, I might add, to determine who's going to be number one contender for the AEW Women's Championship.
Yeah.
And we're not even going to see half the matches anyway, so what's the point?
Yeah. So then, that's all the negatives. Actually, no, there's one more negative thing, actually. It's that fucking Pac versus Ryan Nemeth match. What the fuck was that?
Ryan, I can't take a bump, Nemeth.
Yep.
At first, I was like, holy crap, like Dolph Ziggler's brothers on AEW, and then I watched the match, and I was like, this guy can't bump.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck was he doing in NXT if he can't bump?
Yeah.
He bumps like Vince McMahon.
Actually, Vince was probably better than him. Vince was probably better than him, but at bumping at least.
Vince is probably better than him, but it's like when Vince takes a stunner bump, it's like exactly how Ryan Nemeth sells. And I don't think it's on purpose either.
Yeah.
I don't think he's doing it to be like jokey. I don't think he fucking knows how to bump.
Get him off. Keep him on Dark. I don't want to see him.
I'm done. I'm done seeing him now.
Yep.
He's not even a Walmart version of Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
He's like a fucking Dollar General.
Yes.
He's a Dollar Tree version of Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
They go to the store.
What's the name of that store? Like
everything's a dollar.
No, what's the name of that? I feel like he's even worse than that. What's the name of that store where like you can buy like old things that like people have used and stuff? He's whatever that is.
I know what you're talking about. I think the name of it though right now.
Yeah, same.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Not Payless. Payless is a bar and shoe company.
I don't remember what it's called, but that's what he is. He's you could see why he didn't make it in NXT.
He's a Dollar Tree.
Yeah. I'll just call him a Dollar Tree.
It's like you go to the store, you buy one thing, it's $1.
Yeah. Let's talk about everything else on Dynamite fucking World, though. I want to talk about the thing that was like even though the main event was probably my favorite thing, the thing that was like absolutely my favorite thing on the show was the stuff going on with Heyman, Adam Page, and Matt Hardy. I fucking laughed my ass off this week. So Matt Hardy
was on the contract that Matt Hardy signed.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. So Heyman, Adam Page, and Matt Hardy were talking backstage, and he says that he doesn't want to be in a tag team. And Matt Hardy says, "Look, I just want to celebrate our victory from last week. So I purchased a bottle or whatever. Let's go have a drink." And of course, Heyman, Adam Page is gonna say yeah because he's a fucking alcoholic. So I even love how he walked. I even loved how he walked past the Dark Order after.
I was
like,
gonna say that he walked right by the Dark Order. That was fucking hysterical.
Yeah, I loved how awkward it was.
I'm gonna go that way.
Yeah.
Instead of walking through them, I thought that was fucking hilarious.
I love how awkward it was because they just basically like proposed to them, and he said no. And I like how awkward John Silver was being. That was fucking awesome.
John's heartbroken.
Yeah, and I love too how he said something stupid. It's like, oh, that was so stupid. So then Matt Hardy had a whole plan. So him and Heyman and Page were drinking out of the bar. He was telling some type of joke, and Matt Hardy was like pretending to laugh, overly laughing about it. And Matt Hardy wasn't even drinking. He was
tossing the drinks aside.
Yeah. Basically his plan was just to get him drunk so he would sign with his brand. He pulled out the contract and everything. Heyman and Page like, oh yeah, I'll
Oh, that was funny.
Huh?
He broke the fourth wall after he pulled out the contract.
Yup.
He went over to the camera guy and started talking to the camera guy, and then Hangman switched the contracts.
Yo, it was so great. This was what did he fucking sign?
Like Hardy was trying to be like the evil, slimy, carny heel, and Hangman just reversed it on him, and he switched the contracts.
What do you think he signed?
I want to know what he signed. I like how he hardly put the contract in the manila envelope and just ran away.
Yeah. This was great.
That he's gonna leave him alone, or that he's gonna join the Dark Order.
Matt Hardy.
Hangman.
Yep. Oh, this has been
contract and is ready to sign that he's gonna join the Dark Order.
Yeah.
And he signed that instead of signing the Matt Hardy contract.
But if he signed a contract where because you know how Matt Hardy has that deal where he gets all the money. What if he signed the contract that he gets a good percentage of the Hardy Plant's money?
He just gets 100% of the revenue.
Yeah.
God, that'd be fucking hilarious if that was it. That he gets all the money from the Hardy Party.
Yeah.
That's great.
Honestly, actually, we talked about the wedding. It was the thing that stood out to me the most. It wasn't even the wrestling. It was the freaking Johnny Gargano Kushida thing and this segment right here.
Yeah. This segment was great. I was I want to see what's on the contract. What do you make Matt sign? What do you make him sign?
I love Kenny Omega and the Bucks, but fucking Heyman and Page is way more fucking interested than they are right now.
Yeah, you know why? He's not he has people courting him to try to join them.
Yep.
And he doesn't want to join them, and he's kind of like a lone wolf, and he's depressed, and he's an alcoholic, and
yeah.
But he's he's got the sympathy angle down pat.
You know what's good?
I love the fact that he's a sympathetic babyface.
You know what's great about him too? He's not on the show. He's only on the show for 10 minutes, and that's it.
Yeah. 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Whether it's a match in a segment or just a segment like that. He didn't have a match that night, but he was on the show for 2 minutes doing that segment.
He was doing something. He was doing something significant. He was.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Honestly, you can make this.
I wonder where it's gonna go.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it kind of exposed Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. I think he wasn't the most interesting part of the Elite story. I think it was Heyman and Page that was all one.
I mean, they're assholes for kicking him out.
Yeah.
They kicked him out of the Elite because he was manipulated by FTR. They didn't try to reconcile with him.
Yep.
They just said, you know what, you're out. Bye.
Yep. But I'm just saying,
his friends turned on him.
I look at whoever would have thought a year ago when All Elite Wrestling started, Heyman Adam Page would be the most interesting one of the Elite and stuff. Cody's fucking directionless. But even if Heyman Adam Page is direct, you can make the argument he's directionless. But he's not on the show. He's only on the show 2 minutes, and it's okay, you know what? You're doing something, and if you are directionless, you're only on for 2 minutes. I can take Cody's on for fucking 10 minutes, and it's I can't take this. This is done.
I don't think particularly that Hangman is directionless.
Yeah.
I just think his gimmick is that he's
directionless.
His gimmick is that he's pulled between two forces, whether it's Matt Hardy and Hardy Party or whether it's the Dark Order.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to keep running into each other.
Yeah.
I think that once it gets time to go to the pay window, so to speak, that Matt that like maybe not next week but the week after, like Matt's going to read the contract and he's going to be like shocked at what he signed.
Yeah.
I think next week is going to be. I think this upcoming week on Wednesday, I think it's going to be like he's going to look at the contract and be shocked, and that's where it's going to leave off.
Yeah.
And then the following week, they're going to show us what the contract actually was.
Yeah.
Because that's how you build it up.
Yeah, I love Hangman Adam Page right now.
Don't even have Matt Hardy's eyes get like really big.
Yeah.
Like really, really big, and then like just cut away, and then have like commentary be like, "What was that? Like, what was in that contract? Like, what did he sign?"
Yeah. I love how they kept. They even talked about it on commentary. Like, what did he sign? Like.
Yeah, like what was in the contract? Like, what did he read? Like, what did he sign?
Yeah.
Like, it's so interesting because I want to know what the fuck is in that contract.
Yeah.
Did he sign? What's it poor old greedy Matt Hardy sign?
Yeah.
Because he thought he was getting him in his Hardy Party.
Yep.
He thought he was going to get 60% of his revenue.
Yeah.
I wonder what that. I like how Matt's like contract was like so neatly put together, stapled. And everyone's hands was all like wrinkled and like I can't believe he couldn't tell the difference. Like
I know
through the contract like over his head. That segment was fucking amazing.
Honestly, like Hangman Adam Page, I think they've nailed him to a T. He's not, he's not directionless. And even if, let's say, like even if he was, I could take him being directionless over Cody because he's only on the show for 2 minutes.
He's factionless.
Yeah.
So he's having these two factions like court him to try to get them to join.
I like
but Matt Hardy was playing the slow game.
Yeah.
Was playing the fast game like, oh, here's my locker room. Oh, we're tag teaming next week because I have kids and I don't like the fact that Chaos Project interrupted Brody's birthday party. His birthday celebration. I didn't like that. Too. So now we're teaming because we have a reason to team. And then the following week now, which was this week, was him signing the contract.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what's going to happen next week.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to look at that contract and we're going to get exactly what I said.
Yeah.
I would do it in the facial expression. I wouldn't have him, like, cartoonishly animated, like, jaw drop, like... I just have his eyes get really big and then cut away.
Yeah.
Like he's.
I wonder, like how, like, cause clearly he's gonna cause obviously it's gonna get found out next week. Like, is he I wonder how that's even gonna get like brought up. Like, I have a feeling like they'll have the match next week. They'll win. And then like backstage, I think Alex Marvez will interview them, and when they walk away or something. Because I feel like him and Adam Page can't, like, be there when, like, he finds out. Like, him and... I think they could have private party there, but, like, Alex Marvez is going to be like, so what did you sign next week? What did you sign last week from the contract? And he's like, what do you mean? He's joined the Hardy Party. He's like, well, he switched the contract out. And then he's going to pull it out of the envelope or whatever and be like, what? And then he'll have the facial expression or whatever. Like...
Yeah, like something like that. Like, maybe it's a match.
Yeah.
Like next week or the following weeks on Dynamite.
No, Revolution, because that's coming up.
Revolution, yeah, exactly that. If Hangman wins, Matt Hardy has to leave him alone. Or if he loses, he joins Hardy Party.
Yep. This is great. Let's talk about other things, though. I feel like we should have saved that but that was great. I just wanted to talk about that so much. Like,
multiple different ways. It's an interesting storyline. Most of AEW storylines, not including the women, are fairly interesting.
Yeah. And Cody right now.
Yes, not interesting. Yes, Cody is far from interesting.
I enjoyed I enjoyed Darby Allin versus Joey Janela for the TNT Championship. I thought that was a hell of a match. No issues, no complaints. You know, I like the Darby. The only complaint I have is like, because I know they did something with it later, but I thought like, because they said Team Taz was going to be out there like for the match, and then they didn't show up, so I was kind of confused about that. But they did do something with it later, I guess. It's because then later on, Sting was supposed to get interviewed. But before he could really say anything, like we see that Team Taz. I almost said Tim Taz.
Tim Taz. That's new. That's the new member. Taz's forgotten son, Tim Taz.
Yep. Team Taz kidnap Darby. Like they laid him out. They put him in a body bag and like drove away with him. Like actually pulled him. Like I enjoyed that. I think what's gonna be rough is like because Sting's not wrestling yet, and we're gonna get a lot of the same things I think with Sting, where he comes out, he gets interviewed, and like it's getting kind of old. But I like the stuff that went on with like Darby out. It was really weird too, because Sting like tried to rush backstage and like save him. Like you fuck, dude. Like you're not getting there in time. Like they already drove away. Like you don't even know where they went. But
I know, yeah. The like Sting is in hot pursuit, and I'm like, what do you mean hot pursuit? He's slowly walking backstage.
Yeah.
He wasn't running. He wasn't jogging. He was slowly walking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, by the time that he even reaches the parking lot, because that's a million miles away from where they are.
Yeah.
Like, by the time he even gets there, Darby Allin's going to be dead.
Yeah. But I enjoyed the storyline for the most part. I think just the critique I have is it feels like we're doing a lot of the same things right now with Sting because they're trying to. Because I don't think they want him to take any bumps right now until the street fight. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I would have at least like had them wait to speed off until Sting got there.
Yeah.
Like have Sting like hightail, like run.
Yep.
And then like once he gets like don't like show him running because it's gonna take forever. But show him like get like go through the tunnel and go into the back, and then cut to them cutting their promo, still like cutting a longer promo, and then cut to Sting like getting out to the parking lot, and then them driving off.
Yes.
So like do the unzip of the body bag, pull up Darby, and then Sting comes out. They jump in and then go.
Yes.
Instead of what they did, which was like. They cut the entire promo, and then drove off. Like they cut the promo, and then they pulled up Darby, zipped the body bag back up, jumped in the back, and then went. And then Sting got out of the ring, went up the ramp, went through the tunnel, and then went that way.
Yeah.
By that point, they've been gone for a minute and a half.
Yes.
So Darby's fucking dead at that point.
Yeah.
I could presumably say they killed him.
Yeah.
Because if you're dragging someone from that distance, they're gonna fucking hit everything.
So he is gonna respond to it next week. I wonder if Sting is gonna get taken out next week, but we'll see. Or maybe they'll tease it and then Darby Allin will show up. But I feel like Darby Allin needs to be off a week now. Like he needs to sell that attack. I mean, I guess he could be there next week because you could say like he could take the pain, but I feel like he needs to be off a week.
A week or two.
Yeah. What else did I like on? Everything with the Inner Circle this week was pretty damn awesome this week. So
I loved everything with that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I loved everything with that.
So Sammy Guevara shows up to the Inner Circle locker room. He kicks out everybody except MJF, and he talks to MJF, and he basically sees through his plan, saying that he's trying to take over the Inner Circle. And MJF talks to him and says, maybe it's you that's trying to take over the Inner Circle. And you hate Chris Jericho and stuff. And I think Sammy Guevara, like, sarcastically said that. But then we found out that, like, MJF was, like, recording him. So I think he was going to try to make it seem like he wasn't sarcastic about it and, like, play it for Chris Jericho later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They basically tried to play it off like MJF was recording Sammy. Saying that he hates Chris Jericho and he wants to be the leader of the Inner Circle. the smarmy douchebag infiltrator heel that he is.
Yep.
But Sammy saw through the plan. I like how they did that.
Yep.
Where they saw that, Sammy saw through that plan because he put his phone on the table. He took his phone out of his pocket and put it on the table. You heard the click. They had the click so that it was recording.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You're recording me?" He's like, he grabs his phone. He's like, "That's my phone." And he whips it off the wall and breaks it, and then punches MJF in the gut. And MJF is an epic sell.
Yep. And then like I liked how Jericho didn't see that segment because they did add the thing we can watch Dynamite, but since Dynamite I think it was still technically going on, Jericho couldn't, and he was preparing for the match and stuff. Jericho couldn't actually watch it. So I did kind of enjoy that Jericho didn't know about this, and MJF tried to throw Sammy under the bus still, but Jericho was to focus on the match and stuff. And then they go out for the match, Jericho and MJF versus the Acclaimed. As much as I think the gimmick is crap, this match actually was pretty darn good. I really don't know if it's the Acclaimed, though. I feel like it was because MJF was selling his ribs so well, and they're also in the ring with Chris. Because the only matches I've seen them have good is, I can't tell if it's them, if it's they're being carried. Because the good matches I've seen them have are it's SCU and the Young Bucks, and you can't have a bad tag team match with those tag teams.
Yeah, exactly.
So they need to face a team that's not experienced to it, or is the same level of goodness as they are and stuff.
I did like when Max Caster brought up MJF's past, My Little Sunshine.
Yep.
That part was fucking. I was like, oh, I laughed my ass off at that.
Yep.
I think this, as bad as the raps have been, I think that this week it made sense because they were kind of the baby faces in that match.
Yeah.
As opposed to being heel, which they've been, they were kind of the.
Yeah.
Because AEW doesn't have the spectrum like the WWE has, where obvious face.
Yeah.
Whereas depending on the story, that's who's heel face. Jericho and MJF are obviously heels, whereas I think in this match specifically, Bones and Caster were the faces.
Yep. Yeah, they had a pretty darn good match, and then obviously Jericho and MJF won. And then Sammy Guevara came out and says, I said if there was another situation, I would quit the Inner Circle, and he quits the Inner Circle pretty much. And backstage, when Alex Marvez tries to interview him about it, he says, I did what I did. I can't go back on. I got to focus, but he's taking a break for a few weeks. So now this kind of opens up the door because it's all going to come to a head at Revolution. And I think we clearly know, because MJF has planted something when it comes to taking over the Inner Circle. Jericho's getting thrown out of the Inner Circle, and I think, he's going to get beaten down, and then I think what's going to happen is because I think when Jericho gets kicked out of the Inner Circle, he'll be off for a few weeks to sell the injuries and stuff, whatever happens to him. And when he comes back, he'll bring back Sammy Guevara, and they'll do the La Sex Gods versus MJF and another, maybe Wardlow or something.
Yeah.
So I really like it. The Inner Circle, the destruction of the Inner Circle, I think has been really awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with it.
I think it's going to lead to a match at Revolution.
Well, not Revolution, because they already are doing the tag match with Jericho and MJF. I think so. The Young Bucks are retaining the championships.
Maybe post match.
Yeah.
MJF beats up Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna start showing tension. If Guevara is already seeing through the plans.
Yeah.
So they gotta see through there's gonna be some sort of tension between Jericho and MJF. They kind of there was a little bit of tension between them that wasn't there before.
Yep.
With Jericho went to the corner and MJF tried to come over, he pushed him away.
Yep.
And you could see brilliant storytelling. Max was laughing the entire time.
Yep.
You could see the smarmy look on his face, something's up.
Yep.
They kept the camera just a distance enough back to where you could see Max in the background, and he was like smiling when Sammy Guevara quit, because he is trying to single-handedly infiltrate and take over the inner circle.
Yep.
It's brilliant storytelling.
Yep.
That's what I love about like the feuds like this, and with like the Elite feud. It's like it's brilliant storytelling.
Yep.
It brings you in. It makes you want to watch next week. I want to watch next week.
Absolutely.
I want to watch it over NXT. Even though NXT probably has better match quality.
Yeah.
But it makes me want to watch AEW because I'm way more invested in AEW storylines than I am with NXT.
Yeah. Then we had I think it was just the main event pretty much. I don't really think anything else happened on the show that I can think of. No, there was one more thing. I thought I talked about it. The Jungle Boy interview with that he cuts on FTR. I really enjoyed that. Well, he basically said he wants to kick their ass and stuff like that. What's really weird about a promo is we heard like a bunch of commotion going on backstage, and that was just really strange. Like I thought like FTR were gonna come in and beat him up or something, but nothing happened, so it was really weird. And now we're gonna get FTR versus Matt and Mike Sydal, which I'm actually interested in that match. I hope Mike Sydal though is better than Ryan Nemeth. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I hope so.
Because now they've cut.
That's
now
his
because
real
of
life brother too.
Huh?
That's his real life brother too.
Yeah, but now Ryan Nemeth kind of left that stink where like we can't think like just because they were later that was good. So thanks a lot, Ryan Nemeth. Then we had the main event, which I thought was absolutely awesome. It was John Moxley and Lance Archer versus Kenta and Kenny Omega. This week, John Moxley cut the promo on Kenta, talking about the IWGP United States title match. He actually had the belt with him.
I finally mentioned it.
Yeah. They had Kenta come out with the briefcase of the IWGP title shot.
They mentioned it.
And, yeah, this was just a hell of a match. I loved how no one was really working together unless they had to. Like, I even love how they didn't stand, like, in the same corners and stuff. Like, they all stood, like, if it was a fatal four-way match. And it was just a war. Like, I feel like it just shows, like, Kenta just fucking laid out Peter Avalon like nothing. Like, Kenta's looked more credible than Cody did in his match earlier in the show, because he had a freaking 50-50 match with Peter Avalon, while Kenta just laid him out like he was a jobber. What?
He did lay him out. Because he is a fucking jobber.
I like how they blow out in the kitchen and stuff. And they use the sack of potatoes and stuff. They fought in the crowd. Kenny Omega got put through, like, the table or whatever that Peter Avalon was, like, sitting on. And then Kenta, like, from out of nowhere, like, was ducked a shot from Lance Archer and did, like, a double stomp off the fucking stage, like, through the table on the Moxley.
That was sick. That was so sick.
Eventually, they breaks down even more chaos, and the Good Brothers come out. And earlier in the show, I forgot to mention it, they had, like, a word with the Young Bucks, and talked about, like, the Young Bucks were upset with them because they screwed them out of a chance to face them, because they were going to pick them to face for the AEW World Tag Team titles. So I'm wondering if they, because the Good Brothers played it off like they were, they did it by accident, but I wonder if they did it on purpose so they don't want to get in the ring with the Young Bucks, because they know they'll lose. But I liked, it was really weird though, because they advertised the No Surrender match, but they also didn't really mention that it's now a triple threat match. They mentioned, they made it seem like it was still like a traditional tag match when that wasn't the case. The Young Bucks, like, are now going to face Pride and Powerful for the AEW tag titles, because Gallows and Anderson, like, kind of manipulated them to do so, because they they eliminated them from the Battle Royal. But yeah, I enjoyed, it led to the Good Brothers coming out, they interfered. I like how they protected Lance Archer, because it took all three guys to finally get him to that position. And when Kenny Omega lifted him up for the One-Wing Angel, he didn't just do it himself. He had to have Gallows and Anderson, like, actually help them lift him up. And I loved Yeah, I loved it. Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers ended up getting the win. Well, not well. Kenny Omega and Kenta got the win, but the Good Brothers were there. Um, and then afterwards, they did like a post press conference where Kenny Omega where they kind of talked about and dug jabs at the other members of the Bullet Club, which makes me wonder now if they're gonna kind of start to get involved with this, because Jay White's contract's up in New Japan, so now there's talks he's going to WWE, but now I think if he goes to AEW, there's a well-made storyline there for him now because
it's not though.
Huh?
It's not up.
Oh, it's not up.
Yeah, that was just he's still under contract for a few more years.
Oh, okay. But yeah, he could still, because since they have the partnership though, he can still go to AEW, because if you remember, there's a history between Omega and Jay White, because Kenny Omega tried to recruit Jay White originally, and he turned it down and took the IWGP US title from him. So,
hell yeah.
So there's history there. So yeah, I enjoyed all this stuff. I'm definitely gonna watch that match on February 26th between John Moxley and Kenta for the IWGP US title. I'm not gonna watch it live because I think it's gonna be on ass early, even though it's in the United States. But I'm never gonna watch that. But yeah, I can't. I really love the. It was weird because we had 2 people from Impact, a person from New Japan, and 3 Dynamite people or AEW superstars all in the ring at the same time. It's fucking crazy. We had the IWGP US champion in the ring, and we had a AEW champion in the ring. So, I love this match. What do you think of it?
It was fantastic.
Yeah,
the whole match was great. I loved it. Great.
Yeah, that's pretty much AEW. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give this show like an A-, a 90 out of 100. The only things I really hated were Shaka, the women's division, and Cody. I just think Cody. I feel like these things can't be. That's gonna be the common criticism for a while, because the women's division can't be fixed overnight, and the Cody Rhodes thing I don't think can be fixed overnight. Actually, that actually can be fixed overnight if he turns heel. But if he stays a babyface, it can't be fixed overnight.
Yeah. I get same thing. I give the same thing as you.
Yeah.
90 out of 100.
Yep. And I think that's everything. We covered everything on AEW. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Pause.
It's a bad bunny.
Oh, don't say that. Yeah, so that's pretty much the end of the wrestling rundown, whatever episode it is. Though we went 2.5 hours. But I think now that we've covered everything that needs to be covered and we're all caught up with everything, I think these shows will get shorter, because we did have to kind of squeeze NXT all in one thing. So
yeah, we had to squeeze NXT and it'll go back to like an hour and a half.
Yeah. And we also had to predict 2 pay-per-views, I think, too, which is kind of what took up some time. But yeah, why don't you say where people can find you? Like on social media, not like don't give your address away.
If you want to find me, look in the fucking description. It's there. Just looking.
Yeah.
Fucking down arrow will pop up. My name will be there. Follow me. So you can follow me.
Yeah. Yeah, and as for me, like, you can find me on this channel, Less Than Fortune 44, because I thought there were 44 members of Fortune. I didn't think there were. I thought that was the lyrics of the theme song. Like, I don't know how it could, but, yeah, just check that out. We got some, now we can finally get, like, to, like, a good schedule now and stuff, because we finally launched the Aftershock Corner and the Wrestling One now. We've covered, like, everything that needs to be covered now, so.
We just go back to normal views like we were just doing with Impact and AEW.
Yeah. We might add now ROH to the mix. That's only an hour, and it would because it feels like we get done with the wrestling rundown quick. So I think we're gonna add ROH to the mix. I don't think we'll add New Japan. I think we'll only add New Japan on occasions, like for the John, because I feel like New Japan.
Yeah, that'd be like an occasion.
You can't add New Japan. Yeah, because you can't add that. You can't review New Japan like every show because that's too hard. I can't believe Noah's able to do it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But the Aftershock Corner, we're gonna launch. Yeah, because you get to pick when we launch the next episode. So you probably should watch it. We probably shouldn't launch it right now because we don't have a lot of WWE. Because it's only SmackDown on 205. That's not enough WWE shows to talk about. We should probably wait till after War happens. So it should be after Monday.
It'll be after Monday, yeah, because we'll have 2 episodes to talk about.
Yep. And you get to pick. Watch the first episode of the Aftershock Corner being back. Like we talked about. A big question. We talked about. We went into great detail, like towards the end of the show, talking about all the wrestlers that passed away, like in 2020 and early 2021. So we really went into big detail about it. Make sure you watch that. And this week we'll be talking about all the WWE stuff. We're gonna talk the things in 2020 that we missed. We're going to talk about WrestleMania 36. We're going to do like a general thoughts of it. And then Chris is going to pick like an unpopular wrestling opinion that he has. And then he's going to pick, and then I'm going to ask a big old question that it's going to get answered. And you better fucking get answered, Chris.
I will fucking decide if I'm going to answer it or not.
And then, Retro Wrestling Review Series, we'll give like a more in-depth analysis of WrestleMania 36. I know it hasn't been a year yet, but I feel like a lot's changed in a year where we can actually review that show. Not even a year. And then obviously check out the Wrestling Rundown. The next episode will be out when I fucking say. So get mad at everyone right now. Maybe I'm just mad. So
he's cranky.
Yeah. Maybe it's not a good idea for us to do shows at like 9:00. I'm more mad. Don't want people talking to me. I don't want nothing. So
he's a cranky old man.
Yep. No, but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. This is the end of the show. The second I hit stop, Chris will leave and just make me sad. He's gonna go play SpongeBob. When you play SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs' Dream, I want the first time you do it, I want fucking thoughts about that.
Maybe.
Okay. All right, that's pretty much it, guys, though. We will talk to you guys later.